Whoa! Actually, I think I started this. So, hello, everybody. I'm inviting people as we speak right now. So, that was weird. How did that happen? I think I hit the wrong button. So, anyway, as I'm inviting people, I am in my basement here in Moorhead. I got back from Dice Tower Con on Sunday, which is a story in itself, but I got to wait for the other people to show up before I can actually tell that whole story. But it was crazy. And it was fun. Dice Tower Con, which I'm undoubtedly going to talk about a lot in just a little bit, was a ton of fun. And I was going to talk about some things about it that, like, I kind of wonder why other conventions do them, and like why they seem to get it right as far as that's concerned. And so, yes, I am the only person on right now. I do apologize for that. But the other people should be showing up very, very soon. As a matter of fact, I'm sending out another bunch of invites here in just a moment. But so, as I said, I was lucky enough. Hey, who's this?
Hey, it's me. Who are you talking to?
Myself. I accidentally hit. I actually made it go live before.
Oh.
I was just. I gotta use up time. Hey, everybody, how's it going, everybody? Yeah. So, hey, champ, what's going on?
Not much. What's up with you?
Just more of the same. I'm actually sending out the invite right now to everybody.
There's Pete.
Hello.
Hey, Pete here. We're actually live. I hit the wrong button or something. You'd think I would have known what I was doing after doing like 100 of these.
It was funny, Pete. I logged in and Lance was talking to somebody and nobody was here.
Yeah. Well, that's my story, right? That I'm going with is that I hit the live button. I wasn't actually losing my mind.
Cool.
But yeah, so there we go.
Live.
Geislinger just called me like so you know how people like they get done being at a convention and they do their big social media posts, say, hey everybody, thanks for everything kind of thing, and then Patrick Siebert of Just Got Played, in his remarks about me, he wanted to say big gentle giant, but instead it was big genital giant.
Whoa,
More appropriate.
Both accurate.
he wishes.
You big.
No, I thought he meant that he was a genital, not that he has a big genital.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So
So
there's.
he called you a walking dick.
Basically.
Aw. Aw. Why would you say that to me?
I love you.
No, I was talking about. Anthony saying.
I didn't say it. Patrick Siebert said it. Get your story straight.
Patrick Siebert, who was trying to tell me that he was going to hold all these awesome parties at his place, and then like he never showed up for his own parties. Like all these people would show up for his villa, and then it was just kind of like, "Where's Patrick? I don't know, no idea." So, hey, Anthony.
Hmm.
I don't hear Anthony. Anthony.
Yeah,
All right. No, it's all
I
right.
don't know if the hype is getting to me, but I am actually mildly interested in that game.
What game would that be, Joe?
Godfather. I'd give it a shot.
Oh, Godfather, Corleone's Empire.
Well,
You are a genital giant.
He's a giant genital.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we missed last week, so everybody's got to have a ton of really.
I wouldn't say we missed it.
Zing!
Zinger.
Does anybody? We've had 2 weeks. Does anybody have any updated like grievances to air?
No.
No.
I have no grievances.
I'm a happy person.
Yeah,
I
me
don't
too.
think I have any grievances.
Oh, happy belated birthday, Joe.
Oh, thank you very much. I had a wonderful birthday.
Oh yeah.
So I can't say this on the air live, but I found out something really funny.
Wait, you're live.
You're live.
You are live.
Are we really?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was close.
Wow, we shouldn't have said anything. That would have been very entertaining radio.
We don't want to get him
No,
fired.
it was no. It's not about the job. It's about something personal. But it was it's a really amusing thing. I'll put it in the
You
chat.
can type it in chat.
But yeah.
I will.
So I have a small grievance.
I didn't even know we were live. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, we're live. So
Yeah, because the genital thought threw you off, right?
yeah, the genital thing probably got them all worked up. I hate, with a passion, people who jump on limited print run items and then throw them on eBay with no intent to ever use such item.
I hate those people too.
Yes. Last week, while I was at Dice Tower Con, apparently Mondo, there's a big artist thing. He makes lots of like pop culture poster prints. Put up a limited edition run of Jaws posters to commemorate the new album, remastered album of the original movie soundtrack. And there were only like 300 of this poster. And they made 2 different versions of it. There was 300 of each of them. And they sold out within hours. And I didn't realize it until after the con. And there was literally 100 of them on eBay for 5 times the price. Very frustrated when you have people that actually want this poster to be able to put up on their wall, and there are people that are just buying them so that they can extort money out of the people who wanted them because they have a quicker clicker finger than others.
Well,
I don't like that.
I understand your frustration, and I agree that that's very frustrating. But I mean, it's capitalism, right? I mean,
Yeah, no, I get it. I get that part of it. And at that extent, I can't be too mad. It's just, I wish companies, like you're making a poster print. Does it have to be a limited 350? Could you have made 1,000 of them and at least gotten these eBay scammers to back off a little bit? I mean, everything has to be limited numbers these days. It seems like anything worth anything, like the Nintendo Classic, they make an X amount and they sell out. And instead of make more, they just leave it, and it just drives demand up, and it causes people who missed that first wave or were unaware of the product's release just have to be extorted by those that happen to either hear about it, know about it, or could click a button faster. I just don't see what the problem is. If they sell out at 350 in hours, then why not make 350 more until the sales slow down to a point where you're not stuck with a bunch of them? I just don't understand that. It's capitalism, yes, but it's also like the people that are making this poster, do you not want to make more money? Because they were selling them for like $45, and I know it didn't cost that much to print a poster, and they sold out in hours, so why not make another 350 of them? That's my grievance.
Posters.
Yeah, Mondo does it every year. Every year he puts out posters right before Comic-Con. And then he has one variant version at Comic-Con that's a con exclusive, but there'll be 2 other versions of it that just have a different shaded color. And he always makes them like this 300 or 500 print run. And once they're gone forever, and he never reprints them. And it's very frustrating because if you're not on the minute it goes live, within an hour they're gone. And then they're all on eBay for their $45 poster. The cheapest one I saw was $200. So,
like what I'm finding frustrating right now, which is dumb, but so the Thing board game is going to have a 1,982 copy run, like special run. That's because the movie came out in 1982, and like,
Dumb.
well, whatever. So you can sign up. You can sign up for email to like, and like basically you can find out nothing. If you go to the website of the publisher, the only way you're gonna be able to get those versions are through them, which mind you, the publisher is like, it's weird. It's like their first board game kind of thing, but they've like established themselves in like weird pop culture stuff anyway. So the bottom line is that you have to sign up for email and then basically sit there and wait and hope that you happen to be present when you get the email saying like they're ready to go or they're ready for pre-sale, and be one of the first 1,980 people. So I go to that website like every day, checking on it. But as luck would have it, I happened just to be cruising through Kickstarter today because I was staring at a Kickstarter page all day long. That was my job today. and Who Goes There, the original short story that the thing is based on. The people, I forget, they made a crazy game about orphans being killed, like last year, and they're making a game called Who Goes There, and it looks fantastic. So I backed that today. And the guys that run that are just like, they're crazy. It's like, when they offered to send me a copy of the game, I was just like, well, I might not like it. And like, they were like, we demand that you review our game if you hate it. You know, we want to see what you have. We want you to tear it apart, you know. So, I guess like they advertised their first game. Richard Hamm told them that there was like no way he would even accept the game with the theme that it had. And it was just like, and then they actually said, you know, back the game that Richard Hamm said there was no way he would play. You know, just in any way, shape, or form.
Wow.
And their first Kickstarter did tons of money. It was very successful. So, and it was a fun little game too, if you like orphans trying to run away from monsters and then getting eaten.
That's a theme.
That is a theme. Hey, Mr. Geistlinger.
Hey.
Everybody on your toes. We have a Dice Tower member here.
Mm-hmm.
Straighten your tie.
Everybody go put on their crazy hats.
Yeah. Lest you
I
get...
have one of those. I have a crazy hat close by, just in
Do
case.
you also have suspenders?
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then you can lead worship at Gen Con this Sunday.
Well, I don't have a crazy hat or suspenders, so I guess I'm out.
You have that hat that you wear every single day. Which, when it fell off, I realized why. Anyway, Robert. Robert is, as you probably know, a video reviewer for board games, and he's part of the Dice Tower Network. And Robert and his lovely, like, I don't know, kind of wife/girlfriend or whatever, Molly, well, you guys have been together forever, right?
No, only about 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's why I had to be careful with you around her.
Yes, indeed. For some reason, I thought you guys had been together longer. Oh, well, whatever. I'll say this. Everybody should go to Dice Tower Con. That is a fabulous convention.
Is it fun? I've never actually got to hang out at it.
Well, that's because you have to work, right? You get paid for your time when you're running around like a crazy guy?
No.
Really?
Molly gets paid.
Who?
Molly gets paid.
So, you were just volunteering? Technically?
No, I mean, I'm staff, but I'm unpaid staff.
That's not staff. That's volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's indentured servant.
It's called I'd rather my better half. Well, I just do whatever she says.
Smart man.
Who's your better half?
Molly, Malcolm.
You know, Molly Malcolm. Of the Florida Malcolms.
Sounds like a Marvel character.
So
Lance, we didn't bring enough for everybody.
I was just gonna say something.
hey, I'm gonna mute myself, but shut your mouth. I just like all I've had to eat today. This taco.
You got a taco from McDonald's? That's quite sad.
McTaco.
McTaco.
I don't want to hear about Lance eating his own taco.
This is the dollar drink that I got at McDonald's when I got nuggets for my kids. This is a taco from Taco John's, the best tacos in the Fargo-Moorhead area. So
That's saying a lot.
it is saying a lot. We got a stupid amount of Mexican restaurants in this town for some reason.
Riveting radio.
Riveting. So anybody play anything? Like I know I played games when I was at
I did not play hardly anything, but when I did play games, I finally got to play Monopoly Gamer for the first time at Dice Tower Con. And
So, I'm really curious about that because all I'm hearing is people talk about it.
It's okay. It's still Monopoly, but it is done in a way that is way more fun than the regular Monopoly. It's less than an hour. It reminds me of Mario Kart, and my daughter loves it. So people can bash it all they want, but I will actually get it to the table a few times a year. It's not the revolutionary, groundbreaking game some people are making it out to be, but it's a fun interpretation of Monopoly themed in Mario, and I don't hate playing. So that's pretty much my review.
It takes the core of buying some properties and doing stuff and going around the board with the roll move like Monopoly. It mixes it with a healthy dose of Mario Kart with the power-up die.
Very much so.
Unique player powers. Little coins, very simplified economy.
And the boss battles are fun.
Predetermined game length, because it's got the boss battles. You will have a maximum of 8 times someone passes go.
And you can shorten that if you want
player. Right. But it is random as hell. It is extremely unbalanced. But it's fun. It's good to play with your kids if they like Mario. But if people get hurt feelings, avoid it like crazy because it has the most take that I've ever played in a game almost. Because every turn you're taking from someone, right? And someone's taking from you. It's constant. I think after a few turns, people get used to it. But there's some brutal stuff. Like you win a boss battle, you can just take somebody's boardwalk. Nothing you can do about it. It's just gone 50 points. Oh, and the win is point-based, not money.
Yeah, everything Keith said is true, yet it is still fun to play. It is not a weekly game night type of game, but it is the family's over, you have a nephew and niece, break it down on the table, play in 45 minutes, put it away, and then maybe bring it out again a month or two later. It's better than the Monopoly of old.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's not a good game, but if you like Monopoly, it's cool. It's got a really unique printed rule book. The rule book's actually well written overall. It's well formatted, and it almost feels like Tyvek or something, right?
Yeah, it's very nice feel.
Really cool material. The production for the rest of the game, it's got the custom insert and everything. It's nice. The only thing that sucks is the cards. The card stock is garbage.
Yeah,
it is the worst card stock I've ever seen in a $40 board game.
And if you sleeve them, it won't fit in the insert. So you're kind of caught between that rock and a hard place. You could sleeve them and throw them in the box, but they won't fit where they're supposed to.
But they never do get shuffled, so you don't have to worry about that. I mean, they're just a card. They don't ever have to be shuffled. It's overpriced at the MSRP. I mean, it's $40 for the game, and then you've got to buy
eight $3.99 booster packs,
$4 figures. So, yeah,
at least the blind bags.
If you've got kids, you do.
They're not blind bags either.
Well, I know they're not blind bags. That's the nice thing. Is that
you just got to find Wario, who's only one per display, so that one takes a little hunting around. But
actually, the displays aren't even that accurate because the display my store got did not have Wario or Fire Mario or the last one I just got, Diddy Kong, but it had like 17 Luigis.
So they're not
just randomly tossed in the box. So because I bought the second copy they sold, and that all the figures were all they had. That was all that came in the thing. So
gotcha.
They did not build a kit with 8 figures per game.
I had the weirdest situation where I wanted to get it for my daughter for her birthday. Her birthday is next week. And actually, I guess a week and a half, but regardless, and I the only GameStop that had it was one that's in Grand Forks, North Dakota. So like I was like, well, maybe I'll drive up there. It's not that long of a drive, but then like of course I mentioned it to her grandma, and her grandma called, and so they sent the game down, and they sent the game down with Fire Mario and Diddy Kong. And then my mom said, what are these? And I was like, well, those are like these little packs, and like you can get all the characters if you look for them. She called up, and Fargo didn't even get any. They didn't even know it existed. They were just like, there's two GameStops. They didn't even know it was a real game. They're like, you're like the 20th person that's called about this. We don't even know what it is. Yeah. So, but yeah. So then the next day, the Grand Forks, nobody was looking for it in Grand Forks, so they just sent down all their stuff. So I don't know. I got the full set or whatever. That for something that I don't even know if she'll ever play, but oh well. Done and done.
I think she'll enjoy it in the end.
I think
It's fun.
You will get your 60 something odd dollars worth out of it if you bought all of it. I think you'll get that out of it in the first few years, and it'll be one that you'll still a few years later. We'll pull it off the shelf every once in a while just for fun. But yeah, it didn't reinvent the wheel, but it is definitely a good take on Monopoly.
Princess Peach is OP as hell though.
Yeah, I don't get involved in which characters are powerful. We just randomly choose characters. And just,
So it's Mario Kart.
Yeah, true.
My
that.
daughter was getting like 18 coins every time she landed on the Superstar. Because you pay rent for every one of your properties. It's insane.
Well, now I'm actually kind of feeling bad that I didn't play it when Kevin Burke, I can never say his last name, asked me to play it at the end of Dice Tower Con.
It's fun. It's fun. That's probably where I ended at, though. It's fun. Go play it.
You go play it.
You go play it.
Yeah. Not so nice when somebody says it to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to say? I can't remember anything nowadays. I'm just like totally scatterbrained. Why is my phone exploding? Talk amongst yourselves.
I've been breaking this back out.
Oh man, I was so jealous when I saw you walking around with that. He got that for like $40. It's like mint condition.
Yep.
Jerk.
And I've already played like 8 games of it now. It's crazy.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, if I had seen that in the market, I would have grabbed it.
Yep, hell yeah, I would have. There were two things I was looking for in the market. I was looking for a copy of Claymore, which some guy had, but he had it ridiculously priced, so I didn't buy it. And I was looking for a few vintage games. That was one of them, but he had already gone through before I got in, so I didn't get it. That's a good time.
Well, I just barely got it. Daryl Andrews was trying to get it right before me, but he was $10 short in cash. And he couldn't. And he was like, "I'm Canadian. I can't PayPal it." And he's like, "I can't get it." And I'm like, "Well, if you're not getting it right now, I am." And he goes, "Just take it."
Oh, that sucks.
I let him play it. I mean, if I'd been a nice person, I would have just offered him $10 spot.
You would have let him borrow $10, right? No, that's a good deal.
You're not Canadian. You don't have to be nice.
Yeah.
That's right. He's legally obliged to do that for you. You screw it.
Right. Yeah, I live in Florida. I'd take your $30 and still buy it.
No, there was some good stuff in that flea market, but by the time I got there, it was pretty much picked through. Like I said, the one guy was trying to sell a copy of Claymore that was pretty beaten up for like $150, and that was
so. Since there are 3 of you here who were there, I saw some people posting stuff after the convention, and I just want to get your take on it. So, how many announcements exactly were there on the PA?
Throughout the entire show?
They made it sound like they were making an announcement every 5 minutes, and every announcement was 3 minutes long.
No. It was like there were a few announcements a day, and on the last day there were a lot of announcements because they needed to make sure all the library copies and stuff were back. But I would say maybe 10 minutes worth of announcements each day, broken up into like 3 segments. It wasn't bad.
Right. It was mostly people complaining on the last day when those announcements needed to happen. People will complain about anything.
Well, here's a trick.
I went to
the room where it's loud. I mean, I don't know.
I went to the first Dice Terracon, and I forgot that guy's name. The guy who does the auction.
Jeff?
Jeff.
So Jeff was the PA system the first year. And when they needed something announced, Jeff would stand on a chair and yell across the room.
Nice.
Yes.
They've gotten a little more advanced now.
which was classic. And then I went again the third year, and they had the mic system, and the mic was like sometimes it was so loud. And Jeff, the first year he was using the microphone, and it was like ridiculously loud when he first started doing it. But I don't know. I just was reading things, be like, can we have more announcements? And I was like, oh, calm down. I said, I've been there. I don't think they make any ridiculous amount of announcements.
No, it was perfectly fine. And to be honest, they made the announcements that most conventions should make, but don't. And it was perfectly reasonable, and it was never more than a couple minutes at a time. And it was never more than a couple times a day, usually in the morning, and then usually again as they were getting close to exhibit hall closing. They would let people know the hall's closing. They would let them know what time the library copies had to be turned back in. It was basic stuff, and it wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
if it was me running the convention, I would just tell those people who will complain on the Facebook page that, you know what, don't come back next year. And if you try to buy a ticket, I'll just refund you your money.
Yeah.
Since you had such a horrible time because of someone making an announcement.
People are just complaining to complain. I didn't even realize that was a problem until you just said something. So
yeah, there was like 5 threads of it in the Facebook group, and I was like, seriously? I mean,
I was there all day.
Yeah, the worst part of that is it made me feel like crap. Is 2 people that started those threads were people from my local game group here.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm like, are you guys kidding me right now? What's happening?
No,
I mean, hey, there weren't a lot of them, and you know what? Unlike a lot of other conventions, at least you could understand what they were saying.
They true that.
It wasn't we need to return.
It didn't sound like a McDonald's speaker. It was they were clear and short, and it wasn't that bad. Whoever's saying that is just very overly critical.
Right.
It wasn't like it was Lance giving the announcements.
The truth has been revealed.
Right, exactly. If we'd put Lance on the announcements, then I would understand.
45 minutes long.
Hey, I got an announcement. So this guy, wait, this reminds me when I was a kid, I used to go to this pizzeria. It was like up on the hill, but not all the way up on the hill. It was like halfway up on the hill. You know, and I remember it because there was a liquor store next door, and it had this sign in the window that was green, and it said Italian wine.
That's a damn good impression of Lance, man.
That was damn good.
Love you, Lance.
You have a rebuttal? You have a rebuttal for that? I think that was a jab at you for showing him Godfather, I'm pretty sure.
Lance, I will say one thing about your tangents, though. I will say this. You are the only person I know that can go on a tangent inside of a tangent and still remember what you started the conversation about and finish it.
That's true.
Wait. You have to be on the show a little bit more often, Robert. He forgets all the time where he started the conversation.
And we'll make an announcement about
it. Attention, Alaboom. Will someone please return the copy of Terraforming Mars to the library? You've had it for 18 hours already. Please return it. Thank you.
One day we'll have Alaboom Con.
But we're not letting you do the announcement.
5 days long, 1 day of gaming and 4 days of Lance just telling stories.
And people will flock to it.
Yep. I might run out of stories.
No, you won't. You'll tell the same one as like a couple hours after you told it the first time. And you'll go, I think I may have told this story already, but
I forget. I forget, like, yeah, anyway.
I'm old. Damn it.
I am old.
Lance, you should come get on a plane and come here for this weekend. You know who's going to be right by my house?
Who?
Nick Foley.
Really?
Yeah. So there used to be a store here, like on the little main street in the little bit of a town that we have, and there was a place called Collector's Realm, and they sold all sorts of like action figures and comic books and wrestling stuff and all that. And he used to like run a little show, like a collectible show every month. And finally he realized that he was making more money at the show than he was at the store. So he closed the store. So like every weekend he does something. But this weekend he's got something going on in one of the, the union halls here or something. And Nick Foley's going to be there.
Man, I'd love to meet Mick Foley.
$20 for an autograph or a photo op. $30, you can have both.
I don't know if I'd pay $30 to have a picture with him. I just want to shake his hand and
$20 for a photo op.
I know a lot of people don't like wrestling. I mean, but obviously I'm a super fan of wrestling. But anybody go watch 1998 Hell in a Cell, Undertaker versus Mankind, and you watch what Mick Foley puts him through for that. Oh man! And if you don't know, I mean, it's just like I remember watching that pay-per-view live, and if you're familiar with what Hell in a Cell is, it's like they drop a cage over the ring, so it looks like it's a cell. And normally you go in there and then you can't escape. That's the whole thing, right? And then and two guys just mercilessly beat the stuffing out of each other. But in this one, for whatever reason, Mankind climbed up on top of the cell, and then him and Undertaker fought on top of the cell. And the cell is a good, I'm guessing, they say it's 20, 25 feet.
It's probably about 15, I bet, at least.
Yeah, and the most common right here is 20, but and then Undertaker throws him off the top, and he literally lands like on his side on top of the Spanish announcer's table, which may have cushioned the blows slightly.
Yeah, and then is it the same one where he takes him up on top again and then throws him through the cage?
Yeah, he wasn't
slammed him. He choke slammed him through the opening on the top.
Well, no, it wasn't supposed to. It wasn't supposed to break. See, he landed when the first one. He said when he landed, he actually it felt. He said I got knocked out for a couple of seconds. Like he woke up and he realized that he was on that he was, and so he was like okay, and then he was sitting there, and he realized that one of his teeth had gotten knocked out, and so he's like all right, and so he kind of came to a little bit, and then and then they did the whole thing where they got him on a stretcher and they're getting him out. And then he got up off the stretcher and he came back and he climbed back up to the top of the cell where Undertaker was still waiting for him. And then they went, and then what was supposed to happen was he was supposed to take a choke slam and he was supposed to be on top and on the ring. And it was just supposed to sag really bad. And then there was going to be and then that's how they were going to get in the cell because the cage was going to sag and then they were both going to be able to climb in and go to it. But instead, the whole thing gave way. And he said the thing that actually hurt him more than anything was the fact that there was a chair up on top that they were using to hit each other with.
It fell down him in the face.
It fell and it fell and hit the chair. This metal chair hit him smack right in the face. And he said that was probably the worst pain he had in the entire thing, including like 5 minutes later when he got body slammed or on top of a pile of thumbtacks right on his back. And so his entire back was just thumbtacks that had been like pushed into his skin.
But he did that stuff all the time. He was used to that. But.
That he was used to. But I mean, yeah, it was one of those things where you're just like, and then he loses the match. I mean, that's the dumb thing is like he goes through all that and he still loses.
I mean, nobody was a better jobber than Mick Foley, right?
Well, yeah, he was a great jobber, and like when he went through his training, like when his Dominic Donucci was his wrestling trainer, and one of the things that his wrestling trainer realized like early on was that Meek, you take a good bump, is how he would say, and so then the other wrestlers would just take turns like giving him body slams and stuff like that because he could take a good bump, he could take a good fall or whatever. So he was just their practice dummy basically, and then
his books were amazing. If you ever read those and you like wrestling at all, best books.
Even if you don't like wrestling, those books are really good. The first one, Have a Nice Day, I think is one of the best. I mean, and the thing is, he wrote it himself. He didn't have a ghostwriter. They tried to have him do a ghostwriter, but then like the guy was just writing stuff that wasn't true, and it was just really bugging him. So he just decided he started writing it all out by hand on like basically legal pads whenever he went anywhere.
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed that book. There's a couple of spots in that book about a local wrestler. to the town that I live in now, the hustler Rip Rogers. And the stories that Mick told of him were not the most flattering things in the world. The one quote was, at one point, the hustler was chasing him down a hallway, pants around his ankles, his brown puckered starfish leading the charge. Because this is the kind of guy that they hung out with.
Yeah. Oh no! If you, I mean, I don't want to sit here and talk wrestling for another hour, but I mean, if you go and like read a lot of the stuff, like a lot of the wrestlers now, because when they broke kayfabe, when basically wrestlers were allowed to say, you know, oh yeah, it's not real. Like at that point, they started telling the stories of like all the crazy stuff that they did, you know, and it's just like rock stars. I mean, it's just, you know. Yeah. You know, they end up in some town doing crazy things and whatever.
I don't know where it was, but I remember seeing Nick Foley doing an interview, and they asked him, like, they're like, you like done some crazy things. Like, what possessed you to do that? He's like, because the way I was built, because we had, you know, guys in wrestling who were like the high flyers and all that, and I wasn't built like them, but I just wanted to do it. So like, yeah, really cool if we could do this, but someone will get hurt. And I was like, I'll do it.
That's fair.
Oh, Waldy's here.
Who moved the rock?
How's it going? Wait, I was on last time.
Shut up. I just like, let me make fun of you.
I played a couple of games.
They brought the Hangout Toolbox back, huh?
Yeah, they brought it back. Well, if you had been on at all, you'd have seen we've had it for about 2 months again.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
There, that's right. I rebought Merchants and Marauders after trading it away and regretting it. And so
really, what is it about that game that's so great?
Nostalgia, number one. It's like Sid Meier's Pirates, the game. It's as close as you can get. It's fun. You get to be a pirate.
It's like 4 hours long, right? 3 or 4 hours.
If you know what you're doing, it's not that long, but it can be. And I think that's why I originally traded it away. Is I got into a game where I was trying to be a merchant, and my turn was move, done. And then the pirates were over on the other side of the board, just having these long turns, doing sea battles and stuff like that. But
well, here's the deal with that game: you have to use the variant that if the merchant passes through a spot where one of the other players that's playing a pirate, or anybody player, if they want to, they can use one of their actions to attempt to find you when you go through. So when their turn comes up, they've used up an action if they do it. But so that stops people from you just being Mr. Merchant and not having to ever like get into a fight or anything like that. So
well, you could always sit down and get them. But yeah, it'd be nice if you could blockade a port.
Well, no, because there's spots where you can go into a harbor. You can leave, move to a harbor, and then you're safe in the harbor. So the thing is that you have to. There's basically, and this is I'm gonna brag a bit here, but basically, I actually like back when that game came out, I said that, and I said that was our variant, and the designer dude even said, he's like, yeah, that's actually a really good idea, and like I guess he instituted it or whatever. So in a weird way, I kind of helped design Merchants and Marauders. You're welcome.
Oh, aren't you nice?
Yeah.
And then I played a crap ton of Near and Far to try to decide if I liked it or not.
So if you didn't like it, you still played it more than most people.
I played it because I wanted to try the campaign and see how the campaign evolved to see if that made it better for me. And after sitting down and cranking out 4 campaign games in a row to see how it developed, I decided it's a mediocre game. And the campaign is probably not worth the effort. It's okay. It's not great. But I mean, it's a decent enough game, but it's not the game I wanted it to be. And I guess that's why I'm disappointed. Is I wanted closer to Gloomhaven, further from what it is. So,
hey, how much did the skills come into play with that game?
How much did what?
The character development and the skills.
That's the thing, is it's not enough, and that's what's wrong with it for me. Is it takes you about 3 games or 2, at least 2 games, if not 3 games, to get a skill, and the skills are okay. They're not fantastic. They're not horrible. They're okay. Like one skill lets you fight any raider from the deck you want, any bandit, any threat. So you can start with the toughest threats or something better, so you can get a little more points that way. But it's not. I mean, if you can't get swords, you're not going to do anything. I found through my plays that whoever gets the most eye icons on their adventure tends to take off, because the eye icons get you resources. Getting resources completes artifacts. Completing artifact gets you more powerful. So ultimately, if you can get all the adventures with the eyeballs, you're going to kick everybody's ass.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
At least that's my impression. I could be wrong, but I guess for me to play it at my table, my impression is what counts.
Well,
I built a table.
I saw that you spent $11,000 on it. It's
I spent 100. My total from when I built the top and when I built this frame, I spent $120 to build this table. It's 4x6 and it's sturdy, so it's good.
You should go on Kickstarter and sell those.
No, I should not. They're not that nice. It's 2x4s, 4x4s, and a slab of MDF.
Keith's gaming tables.
But it's a lot cheaper than a Geek Chic, and I'll actually get it.
Ooh, let's look and see what Robert's
told me today that the
strategy and action games. It looks that you know what that looks like. That looks like a before you saw the Milton Bradley, it looked like something I'd find in a Planned Parenthood clinic.
It's I'm seeing what games Milton Bradley was really pushing in 1986.
Looks like Fortress America, baby.
It is Fortress America.
Love that game. Not that crappy remake that Fantasy Flight put together.
Max Backtalk and Game of the States and go to the head of the class.
Fortress America was like the second game in the well, maybe it was the third. I think maybe Shogun came for. But that was the game that was so good. It was just like it instituted the we need to cooperate but not too much like with the invaders, because only one of you could technically win. Like by whoever owned the most cities. So a lot of times you'd be beating up on America, and then the three factions would start attacking each other about 2/3 of the way through. And everybody forgot that basically if you didn't really, really hurt the American player, they're the only person who got reinforcements throughout the game. The other people the other people started with all of their troops at the beginning of the game. And oh man, there were so many cool things about that game that were just the way it was set up and everything like that. Fortress America, played a lot of that. I know Aldi thinks it's great too.
Never played it.
You call yourself the CEO of the largest,
and I didn't play some obscure Hasbro Game Master game that cost I think it was very expensive back then, wasn't it? Wasn't it like $60 or $70 or something?
Yeah, but how was it obscure? I mean, it was part of that whole. It was part of their Conquest series.
I think it was pretty obscure.
How about the fact that they're going to redo Axis and Allies?
Is not obscure. What? They're going to redo it?
The 50th anniversary or the anniversary edition. They're gonna
about that.
Well, the anniversary edition came with the big, large map.
Oh, the one that sells for hundreds of dollars these days.
But now they're
over 100 when it came out. Yeah, so.
It was $100, which was unheard of at the time, because it was $100 9-10 years ago, and now to get an in-stream copy, it's like $4. But that's definitely going to go down because they've they're remaking that edition, which is good because it actually included a couple of things that are good. It added the Italian player. It put more locations on the map, so it divvied up. Like before, there was I can't remember, but certain countries were a certain area where you got stuff, but because the map was bigger, they were able to cut those areas in half. There was the destroyer class ship, which is something they should have put in because it was so dumb. It was oh, I want to build a ship. All right, well, you can build a battleship for 1 billion coins, a submarine, or an aircraft carrier. There was no smaller ship available or whatever, which stunk. But yeah, good stuff.
When I played Axis and Allies, my friends had already played it 100 times, and they knew all the programmed game. Like you just do these moves. Like there was really no other better moves, and they knew them all. So it was no fun. Took all the fun away from me. So I feel like I never really played that game either.
Interesting. If true.
Why would I lie? About Axis and Allies. I played it like 2 times. Both times my friends knew all the moves, and they're like, "You can just go here, just try." Because you play 3 on 2, right? Or how is it formed? Like,
yeah, well, I mean, if you put, they probably made you play the Russian player, which is like the most boring job.
I played America. America's pretty boring. Until
America, America gets obliterated by Japan right away.
Yeah.
And then because all of your production is in the home area,
you
start churning away. Yeah, you start churning away with your money. Yeah. Russia's the boring one because basically for the first 7 turns of the game, I'll buy all infantry and I'll place all infantry in Moscow because infantry protected at a 2. And that was your entire job of basically you had Moscow. Yeah, you just you had to,
so it's a prescript. It's programmed, right? Like there's better moves than they had already figured all of it out. So
I'll say this at Dice Tower Con, our booth was right next to, and not right next to, on the other side of the curtain basically, was Bezier Games, and they were doing the app for werewords. And it was just and people, and they played a lot of werewords while they were there, and it was just you couldn't really hear the most, but the music was
every time I wandered anywhere near there, because you could just hear it at the edge of the library too. It was nonstop.
Yeah. And what do? I can't really go over there and say, "Could you turn that crap off?" I mean, it was just because it's their app, and they're showing off their new game, but it was rather annoying. I'll just say that.
You could do it. You just be a dick.
Well, and I actually really like Ted. He's a good guy. So we laughed about it for a while. But,
well, we should have sent over some people the people who were complaining about the announcements. We should have sent them over there.
Well, they're friends of yours, right? In your game group, so you should have sent them.
I'll say this: I had the first night I was there, I ended up hanging out with Robert Burke, Shane Myerscough, the guy who runs Grey Fox, a few other people, and man, it's we were gonna play games, but instead we just started talking, and man, Shane and Robert are so diametrically opposed politically. It was fun just to kind of hey, let's talk about this politically charged comment here, and then just step back and watch the two of them just start going at it. That was fun. I remember laughing my fool ass off that evening. It was quite good. Anyway. Has anybody played anything new? I mean, while I was gone, did anybody play anything cool or new or anything like that? I should mention that right now on Kickstarter.
Oh wait! I played this crappy Crusader.
I've heard about that game. They said it was the worst one.
The worst thing I've ever played in my life.
Anyway, Crusaders That Will Be Done. I think we're at 128K right now on the old.
It's time to cancel and reboot in a couple of weeks.
We don't have full cool mini or not money by any means, but it's but it's doing quite well. So I'm
people are still complaining about the stupidest crap.
You know what? I'm not going to comment on it.
I will. I don't work for them. I don't work for the TMJ.
Here it comes.
So all these people, it says right in the thing that we're hoping to have plastic in the game for the deluxeified version, and it's pretty damn freaking cool looking plastic. And people are losing their minds because they want the wood. I want the silkscreen wood. Please.
Just please. You know what? I understand why people would prefer the wooden pieces. I understand where they're coming from as far as that. You know, people have different opinions and whatever you. So we are trying very, very hard to come up with a way that we can make everybody happy. And so we're looking into the options that we have available to us right now.
Okay, so if you don't find an option to help them out, how many of those people are going to actually cancel? None.
I'm not backing it until I get wood. It's not happening.
They got pills for that, Robert. Yeah, you're a young guy. You shouldn't need help.
No. I mean, I understand personal preferences and things like that. I mean, the crazy ones are, it's like, okay, so we've done all this art and everything like that, and like. And so if you look at the front cover of the game, like you have this evocative kind of red, like blood type of thing. And so we went with that with the map. And then people are like, oh, you should change how the map looks. Or you should make the map look like...
I sent that in a direct message, asshole. I didn't say it out loud.
No. A lot of people are very vocal. It's like... And we're like, well, it doesn't fit the art scheme that we're having. I mean, I guess I understand your whole thing is that... But we've tried to explain that, like, you know, it's I don't know. You can't win with the Kickstarter, right? You just have to explain why you're making the choices you're making, and you got to hope that you make as many people as happy as you possibly can, and you just have to accept that you're going to win and you're going to lose depending upon as far as backers and what they like.
This is why I don't run any Kickstarters, because I'd be like, this is what it is. Give me money or don't.
I'm looking. When we hit the 130K, which should be tonight sometime or early morning, at that point, we'll most likely, hopefully, we'll have our art for our next stretch goals, and I think people are going to be very happy with the stretch goals that we're going to post.
You're going to get the sausage vendor in it.
We took down the sausage vendor in our game of Doppelbanger that we played.
You have to. He's corrupt and extremely fat.
That was good. God, Robert Burke was just you get a couple of whiskeys in him, and
yeah,
you get a couple of waters in him.
He he brought his homemade cards for Cards Against Humanity, which were just about the filthiest things I've ever read in my entire life. It was like he just sat at home and like cruised Urban Dictionary and just wrote down everything that he possibly can find.
So I have a question. Did he and Avery try to get you to play nipple roulette?
No, Avery was kind of he was playing it cool here. I mean, he was not the rambunctious guy that, I mean, there was like a little party going on like by the pool late one night, and Avery was there, and he was just totally chilling and like not really talking that loud. It was like Burke and that Jeff guy. I mean, they were the ones that were just they were the ones, stirring the pot and Alex, the Eel Griffin guy. He was there, being rambunctious. I mean, and not in a bad way. I should mention, it makes it sound like it's a bad thing, but everybody was there and really, it was all a very positive thing. But they were definitely, it was definitely a parents' night out type of atmosphere kind of thing. It's like, we get to be crazy again. Ah.
It was definitely the most mellow I've ever seen Avery at Dice Tower Con.
He was just very, oh, hey guys, what's going on? Oh, good to see you. He was definitely like partying, but he was not Avery partying, if you will. But good for him.
And Steve didn't even, and Bonacor didn't even join us.
Well, Steve was sick for a good
Yeah,
chunk
I
of the
know.
show.
It was just weird him not joining us. He's normally leading that party.
True.
Is the Dice Tower Con a good convention?
Yes.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm curious how useful it would be for me to go from a business standpoint. I don't know if it
Not at all.
would be worth it. No.
There's hardly, I mean, other than a few prototype pitches, there's not a whole lot of business going on at that show. It is actually a show for gamers.
Yeah, and even to go as a gamer, I don't know how much of like the gaming I'd want to do I'd get done there either. So
Fair enough. All right. So, I had a grievance there, and I can't remember it to save my life right now. I couldn't. It could have been too great of a grievance then. I will say this: I played a game, and I'm not going to say much. I'm not going to say much about this game, but I played a game at Dice Tower Con, and I played quite a few games. I mean, mostly I just demoed Crusaders over and over again, which is fine. I like playing it. I played it out, which is sad. It's like I will undoubtedly get a really cool deluxe version of this game, and I'll never play it because I've just played the game out for me. But I sat down to play a game with 3 other people, and I'm not going to mention the game name or anything because then eventually somebody will be able to deduce it. But I sat down and played a game with a person that may have been the most. I'm not going to say anything like vile or anything like that, but the most like disagreeably. What is that noise?
It's music.
Oh, that's the thing from Werewords. Nice. Just imagine that like on a level 11 loud. Just like when you're explaining the rules. Okay, so if you go here on the rondel, you bum 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 bum.
On a level 11, but somehow someone had pumped a bunch of bass into it too.
Yeah. So anyway. So no, I played a game. Like I said, and this person that I played with was just like so inherently like disagreeable / like I don't know, like caustic in the way that they were handling themselves. And I'd never met this person before in any way. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna play this game. Let's play." I was like, "All right, that's fine." And it was just like I don't know. And I was trying to figure out if they were goofing on me, like they were just trying to maybe just be like sarcastic or whatever. I thought that's what they were doing. And then it was just kind of like, but no, I just realized that for some reason, like they were just either in a bad mood or really didn't like me, which is fine. I mean, you can't make everybody happy. But so I just kind of had to go back. I wasn't really being like talkative because I just didn't want to talk to this person anymore. So I just concentrated on the game, and it was a game that I'm very good at. So I started winning, and then this person it was a game that has different ways that the game ends, and you can kind of push for a game to ending. And this person, it was one of those things where it's like they pushed the game to the end because they couldn't win or something. I don't know. It was just a bad. It was like I rarely have a bad time playing a board game, and I just had a bad time playing a board game with this person. And and whenever that happens, I'm like, did I say something? They couldn't win or something. I don't know. It was just a bad. It was like,
What the hell?
what is that?
And that person's name is
Roy Cohn. Yeah. So that kind of sucked. I was just kind of like, what? But I don't know. Like I said, I rarely have a bad time playing games, and this person just wanted to make the situation unfun or something. I don't know.
It was so bad that Lance texted me about it when it happened.
Did I text you about that?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I
You
did.
didn't tell me who it was, but you did text me when it happened.
No, because yeah, exactly. I was
So, what specifically did they do? Did they pick on you in the game, or did they?
It wasn't that they were picking on me or anything like that. It was just one of those things where anytime I opened my mouth to say something, they literally would just say something like, "Well, it's like, well, I'd expect you to say something stupid like that." And I was just kind of like, "Wow, okay."
Oh.
Yeah. it was just really weird, and they were being really like nice to everybody else at the table. So I was just kind of like, I don't know if I like had accidentally pooped in their Cheerios and didn't know or something, but whatever. I don't know. I was like, it was weird. It was just let me see here. Oh yeah, here there's that. Yeah, there you go. I was just. Yeah, okay, I did. Yeah, why do I always send Anthony my information when I'm mad? Maybe because it's an A, and I just, people, Anthony.
What, Lance? What mood are you in? I'm mad. Texting Anthony. It's called a smartphone for a reason.
Get one of those things, Alexia. Text Anthony.
I'm mad. Texting Anthony.
Crud. Hey, Scott. I was thinking about this. So I was digging through my I was digging through some old stuff that I posted on Board Game Geek like years ago. And it was kind of a nice little window into the past or whatever. I realize that pages and text and everything like that. I mean, it's relatively small as far as but how often do you guys have to buy more memory space to house the junk that you have on a website as big as yours?
It's constantly expanding, right? So it's paid by the gigabyte, really. I mean, just every day. I mean, hundreds of gigabytes a day, basically.
Yeah, but do you back it up physically?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
2 different places.
Oh, how many different?
2.
Can I have those addresses?
He has it all on 450,000 3-inch floppy disks.
Yeah, it's kind of overwhelming a little bit. There was a bug. I've been writing code right this week and changing stuff, and I broke the collection system. So I wanted to see at what point did it stop working, and I had to scroll back pages and thousands and thousands and thousands of entries in the game collection system, and I looked at the timestamp, and it was 2 hours of time. So over 2 hours of time, I would guesstimate 5,000 games got added into the people's collections on the site. That's a 2-hour window. It kind of blew me. I need to kind of do more analysis on that and see what.
That's crazy.
What games people are adding to their collections over time. But it kind of blew me away because I'm looking at the timestamps and it's I see 100 items all with the same second, in 1 second time. Yeah.
So you broke it? So did you fix it then?
I just fixed it today. I didn't realize. So you can add a claim to your collection in so many different ways on BGG. I broke it in some places, but not in others. So I was kind of trying to figure out where. Yeah. It's an ever expanding database.
To answer your question, Joe, not a famous person, but probably somebody that a lot of people know that go to conventions.
Okay then.
Yeah. I feel like that's a.
Is he dressed as Doctor Who?
That's cool.
So, as a public persona, I think a lot of people feel they know you, and maybe can joke around with you in a certain way that maybe not. You don't understand their jokingness.
If this person was joking, it was really weird. It was just really weird how they were joking.
Just trying to think of an alternative besides the person just being a straight up asshole.
Yeah, I don't know. I tend to I always just say, well, maybe they're just having a bad day. Just all right, fine.
Yeah, I always tend to assume goodwill, right? Why would they be at a game convention if they hated it?
Yeah,
playing with people they didn't know.
That's fair enough.
Why did you go?
But anyway, so I think it's what time we do before and after, just so I can warm up my brain here. And I know Keith said he had some or whatever.
I do. I have some. I will get to them right now.
So was it NASCAR game or whatever that game is called? But your undefeated game.
What now?
I'm trying to figure out what game you were playing.
It wasn't Thunder Alley.
Thunder Alley is what I was
Well,
trying
no. I retired champion of Thunder Alley, champion of all times. So yeah, it is sad to go undefeated and.
Lance, have you played Grand Prix?
I know a buddy of mine, Brian, has it, and he's always talking about it all the time. Describe it, because he has every. What is that?
No, it's the same game as Thunder Alley, but it's Formula One cars.
Oh, it's a cat.
That would be a cat.
Narrower, and you only have 2 cars.
Oh yeah.
Instead
Did
of
anybody
4
play
car
Pit?
teams.
Did you play Pit Crew?
Yes.
I have this. This is an Australian Shepherd.
This is a
Wow, she's getting big.
Oh God, this dog is just giant now. 7 months old, Rocket is, and yeah, she's about 45 pounds now. Oh,
this thing is 13 years old and like 14 pounds.
okay. And hold on. So then I have the old lady of the house.
I'm gonna go grab my wife. She's 43, 100 and something pounds.
No, this is Reggie, and she's the old lady of the house. She's always been a good pup. We're gonna put her down, and then the wiener dog is down here somewhere. Wiener dog. Oh. And then, like a fish, the wiener dog. You can stretch it out. There you go.
Yeah.
And run.
Get a lot of back.
All right. Hey, dogs, get out of here now. Go. Get out of here. Stop bugging me. Who's talking to people in the background?
Pete.
That's Pete.
That's the one thing. Get all the dirt.
All right,
Oh, okay.
Fix that.
There you go.
See if he notices when he comes back. I'm glad you're getting a headache looking at my awesome tie-dye shirt, Joe.
It's like the combination of patterns with the bandana and the explosion of color.
He's like the Macho Man tonight.
Ooh, yeah. I got this bandana at my Shields All Sports store. It's one of those that's the elastic tube ones, so you don't have to tie it at all.
Not that
I feel cool in this.
not that anyone cares, but I was really excited about some gaming stuff happen because I managed to get myself on that Winsome list this year.
Which one?
The Winsome list.
Games.
Well, yeah. What list? What does it do?
So Winsome titles are produced, and there's like a list of about 200 people, but no one officially knows how many. And very few spots open up every year to get on this list. And so basically only people that drop out or don't pay for the set get the spots open up. So the guy who does Winsome has a Yahoo group, which is annoying in and of itself, that you have to join. And on a certain day, at a certain time, he makes a post and says, I have so many sets that I can sell. And it's usually like between 5 and 10 or something like that. And so you have to send him an email to get on the list. Then he says, okay, you got a spot. And you have to send him a U.S. postal money order for $150, and he mails you the games.
And they're not even that good.
It's the original hipster gamer.
This is one of them right here, actually.
They're quotation mark good games, bad quality.
Oh yeah, in fact the announcement says these are awful game quality. You do not want these. But a lot of them get picked up for like Queen Games reprints a lot of them. Evil Griffin does a lot of them. Sometimes you get really lucky and get like a really, really great game. Like Paris Connection started as one of these. And then sometimes they're just, really weird train games. But,
And he's also been banned from Board Game Geek.
Is it by Harry Wu?
no, I don't know. I can't remember what the guy's name is.
He was banned from Board Game Geek.
Was he really?
Yeah. I remember that kerfuffle. That was
fun.
That was
what transpired there.
I'm not saying a word.
Okay.
Oh, I could say. Can I say a word?
You can say whatever you want.
And I might be wrong here, but I think my understanding is that he was breaking the rules in some way. I think Winsome Games had a. If you give me a moment, I can probably find it. Yeah, no. I mean, also, Anthony probably has a good memory of this stuff.
It's on floppy disk 4,672.
No, if I remember correctly, what happened is that he ran a geek list. What is that? What is that? Who's doing that?
Robert, he's paused. Here, I muted him, so it shouldn't happen.
Hold on 1 second.
Sorry about that.
Lance is pretty close. I don't know. I guess it was public. Was it public information? I don't remember.
Hold on. I can find it in like a heartbeat. So just give me a second here.
Lance's heartbeat's very
so
slow.
There's this cool tool on Twitter opened up their back archives for searching, and if you go search for the first, I can't find the first instance of Board Game Geek on Twitter, but if you search for BGG, it brings back a nice blast from the past.
Why is that? What is it?
I mean, I don't know what I even want to talk about. Talking about negative shit, right? Basically, the first post on BGG with the letters BGG on Twitter was like, BGG just banned Barnes. Permaban, boom, by Scott Nicholson.
Well, yeah, that's because you were horrible.
Yeah, it's like such big news when someone gets banned. Well, today it's like we ban 20 people a day. It's bizarre.
Like forever ban or just well, that's because they're little sock puppet things, right? And
there's a number of reasons, of course, right? But
I got suspended from BGG for like 2 weeks.
Really? That's a pretty long time.
Because I called somebody a butthead.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Well, why couldn't you just be nice?
No, somebody was being a complete jerk and just like yelling at some woman on a forum thread about something ridiculous. And I was like, can you quit being a butthead? And I just got on the next day and it's like, hey, you're banned. And I was like, okay.
Suspended. But yeah, it's, what are you going to do? You got rules. If we don't enforce it, then what do we have rules for?
Well, then
I was surprised butthead got me suspended, though. That's what surprised me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I got suspended once and got a really nice letter with it.
Just FYI, I stay out of all of it. I hate internet forum drama. I don't understand it. Like people getting so.
I can remember what it was too.
I just can't even.
Oh, here! I want to read this. This is a direct quote from Scott Alden.
Oh, really?
This was on August 18th.
Send me that link.
2010.
Oh, that wasn't too long ago.
Let me start off by saying that I hate having to talk about money with y'all. He even wrote down Y apostrophe
That's
ALL.
Texan for you all.
Ideally, it would never be an issue, but the facts are that the site keeps on growing, and that growth takes resources, and those resources cost money. And unfortunately, we sometimes need to make decisions with that in mind. This brings me to the topic of a growing trend we've been seeing in publishers and designers promoting their games through unconventional means, such as with geek list contests or giveaways. Our rules are fairly clear on this matter. And he even used a quote box for this.
Wow.
Promoting goods or services in which you have a personal stake is generally not permitted with the following exceptions. ***. A new product or service relevant to the topic of this site may be announced in a single post in the press release forum. ***. Active advertisers are given more leeway to promote goods and services they provide, meaning if you give us money, we'll look the other way. Forum moderators had the final say. That was not on there. That was me adding. That was
I got it.
Okay. Forum moderators had the final say in determining whether a given post falls under one of these exceptions or if it is inappropriate. That was in the quotation. Now here. Unofficial contests and giveaways certainly fall into this category. Despite that, up until now, we've usually allowed these kinds of things to slide. But now we need our money. That was also my editorial. At the same time, these unofficial promotions contests undermine our ability to get sponsors to participate in offering official special contests and giveaways. It can be, you say, such as the current Ascension Chronicle of Godslayer contest, which you linked, which is kind of neat. You gave them a bunch of free pub. I hope they paid you for that. It can be
I probably did.
It can be difficult to convince people to pay us anything to help promote their new games when they see others doing similar things for free. We don't want to see arbitrary by deleting any such unofficial promotions currently going on. However, we do need to give some teeth to the rules that we have in place. So as of this very moment, that would be Wednesday, August 18th, 2010, 7:05 p.m. Central. We are not allowing any new promotional contests, giveaways, or anything else that falls under the above quoted section of the rules. Any such promotions currently going on will be allowed to remain until run to completion. At that point, I would have gone in and edited mine and say, and this will be a continuing promotion that will last forever, and new things will be added occasionally. But it's difficult to maintain a balance sometimes between what is popular and what is best for the future of the site. We want to continue to offer the best site we can while also keeping my wallet full. If anyone reading this was planning on starting a new Geek Lister thread,
Read the real thing.
we want to continue to offer the best this site can while still keeping us sustainable in the future. If anyone reading this was planning on starting a new Geek Lister thread contest to promote a product, please consider contacting us at adrates@boardgamegeek.com. We're happy to try to work something out. Pre-order systems are also subject to this policy. Now, it's weird that pre-order system thing on the back end is the one that got John Bohr in trouble.
Oh, John Bohr, that was his name. God, I couldn't remember.
So
it's so long ago.
So if we go to John Bohr, this is an Octavian.
There's two.
I'm like riveted right now. I want to see how this turns out. I can't remember.
So Tuesday, November 23rd, 2010, 1:17 a.m. You'll notice this was after August 18th, 2010, 7:05 p.m. John Bohr's account has been permanently locked due to the reasons explained below. Typically, when moderation takes place, it is done privately. However, there are rare instances like this one where we really want to stick it to him. No, here's like this one where the action is inevitably going to go public due to the people involved. This post is intended to lay out the cause behind this action up front in hopes of avoiding at least some of the speculation that is sure to follow. These are the reasons.
This guy was a real dick.
Continued inappropriate self-promotion. We recently posted this thread, which included discussion of a geek list that was deleted for being inappropriately used as a pre-order system. It came to light that the author of the geek list wasn't doing it on John's behalf, so a new geek list has taken its place. However, despite our clarifying that it is inappropriate use of our site for John to use it to generate a mailing list for promotional purposes, John has continued to do just that and states as such in the comments of the geek list itself. He may not be using Geek Mail, but he is still using BGG resources as a way to identify customers in violation of our policies. In addition, we discovered a sock puppet account used to promote the geek list. Continuing the inappropriate use of BGG resources are actively promoting the geek list demonstrations of blatant disregard for these rules. And harassment of another BGG user. A second development that has recently come to light involves an interaction John has had with another BGG user. We will not share the full contents of the email exchange that we were forwarded. However, as some details have already been made public in the Geek List comments, I feel appropriate also to share them here. The user thumbed a game on the Winsome reprint list and also emailed John asking for copies and any announcements of reprinted games. John emailed to offer him a copy of something based on his thumb. When the other user declined, John's response was to insult the user multiple times and also included several personal details that John acquired through internet searches, such as the user's real first name, employer, occupation, and age. When the user commented in the Geek List about John's actions, John publicly posted some of these personal details in the Geek List. Either of these would have been enough to get a response. I have permanently suspended accounts on the basis of private harassment alone. When combined with blatant disregard for other site rules, Aldi, Dirk, and I have all agreed that we no longer want John as a user here. I fully recognize that this will be an unpopular decision, despite what we feel is more than an adequate reason. However, this decision is final. We appreciate John's contributions to the hobby of board game and wish him success with his future endeavors, but it is time that he and BGG part ways. You know what the most stunning part of that whole thing is? That Dirk is mentioned.
Who?
Yeah, whatever.
Oh my god. Yeah, it was a good blast from the past. That definitely killed a good 15 minutes.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it was
whatever. I mean,
This is why people tune in right here.
yeah, the very the dirt.
10-year-old BGG drama.
Yep.
7-year-old.
I forgot about the doxing. That was quite distasteful. There was some very nasty things said there.
This is my favorite part of the whole thing on the thread. That's actually the about his account permanently suspended. Someone writes, "Man, I was always in the Martin Wallace camp anyway." Do you remember the big fight him and Martin Wallace had?
Oh yeah.
And then it goes. And this guy's, so John was banned because he refused to give free games to a practicing physician who claimed hard times. That's the question somebody actually asked.
Well, I mean, I was actually fairly in this forum thread. I mean, I remember arguing with people on this, but I remember somebody posting, like somebody posting, he was like, he's like, I realize this is just another example of the identity confusion the BG suffers, combined with the usual unclear and inconsistently applied policies. And of course, my response to this jackwagon was just like, please point me to another situation where someone has made personal attacks and posted personal information in a public forum where the person in question was not reprimanded in some way. And how is use common courtesy in your post and respect others unclear in any way? And I was like, I'm really not being sarcastic. I'd like to hear your reasoning. No response.
We're in a very damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Look, I'm finding Lance's posts all over this thread.
Yeah, that was
November 23rd, 2010. I always wonder why people would go out of the way to make trouble for themselves. John made his bed and now he has to lie in it. Hopefully some sort of good can come out of the situation. Why is it so tough for people just to be nice?
It is. I don't know why it's tough for people to be nice. I think
so actually, to go back to the original talking point was so are you like on this list now permanently? Like, so you've got like a permanent $250 every 6 months subscription?
It's
how it works.
It's once a year.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's once a year, $150. Yeah. It's not bad. These games are good.
I mean,
I played them.
If you're into it, I mean, if they're your kind of games, then yeah.
Plenty of his games are good. I mean, I played a bunch of them. Yeah. I used to collect them, and I'm just like, why? And it's weird because you collect those games, but the good ones get turned into like full, nice, big box productions. Like,
yeah, Queen picks up a lot of them.
Yeah,
but Eagle Griffin does a few. It's been good. It's kind of like being like an alpha playtester, I guess, for these games more than anything. I mean, they've been kind of run through the ringer, but then once you get them, it's just like how their popularity just kind of will dictate whether or not they're going to actually find a larger audience, I guess. It's a cool system, I guess.
I don't know what to say here. There was something I wanted to say, and I don't know if I want to say it. It's not mean or anything. It's just inside baseball. I don't know if I want to share, but I won't. I'll just hold it to myself about that whole situation. Because my memory may fault me in it, and I don't want to say anything.
Well, that's fine.
Didn't really happen. Anyway, I'm glad that's over. Shit like it sucks. Although this day and age with Kickstarter, every single user is a shill. Not a shill, but like basically, people get excited about people get excited about their Kickstarters and they want to share it, and they certainly don't have any problems putting it on BGG. We're deleting stuff constantly.
Oh, please go thumb this image.
It's endless.
Thumb it.
Go thumb this image.
These great and tasty coins.
I have tasty little rovers.
Hey, were we gonna do before and after? So I could actually.
I've been waiting on everybody to.
Can I get my brain prime for this, Robert?
Yeah.
Robert, do you know what this is?
I doubt it. He probably doesn't watch this garbage.
I do watch this garbage occasionally, and then I fall asleep because Lance is talking.
Welcome to the club.
Burr.
Burp. Are you ready for before and after? Does everyone know how to play?
Yep.
All right, here we go. No. Number 1. A Ford Fairlane that you can blow out of the sky.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Andrew Dice Clay Pigeon.
That's correct, Anthony.
I couldn't think of Andrew Dice Clay's name, which is maybe a good.
I sadly couldn't think of the clay pigeon, which is very sad to say.
Number 2. A 7-foot 1-inch teen doctor.
Say that again.
A 7-foot 1-inch teen doctor.
Okay, I think the last part is Doogie Howser.
Yeah.
So what's the first part?
Anthony.
Anthony.
Bob McAdoogie Hauser.
Incorrect.
7'1". It's not Andre the Giant. So Peter Mayhew.
Yeah, it had to be Doog. Doogie.
Or is it Neil Patrick Harris?
Ooh.
Shaquille O'Neal Harris. Neil
That's
Patrick
it.
Harris.
Shaquille O'Neal Patrick
There
Harris.
you go. Shaquille O'Neal Patrick Harris.
Good.
Come
good
on,
catch there.
Bob McAdoogie Hauser. Pretty good.
I like Bob McAdoogie Hauser.
Yeah.
I like that one too.
I don't think he's 7'1" though.
Number 3. He had a death wish for Balki Bartakamus.
Anthony.
Damn it!
Anthony.
Charles Bronson Pinchot.
Correct, Anthony.
That was awesome.
Of course I got it. Don't be ridiculous.
Don't be ridiculous.
Number 4. Making the 4th planet habitable is great until war breaks out.
Aldi.
Aldi.
Terraforming Mars attacks.
Correct, Aldi.
Nice. Nice.
Number 5. If Leonardo da Vinci had painted Blair Warner.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Mona Lisa Welchel.
Correct, Anthony.
You could have asked me 1,000 times.
Sadly, I just
Later,
saw
I
her
would've
on
gotten
Celebrity.
With the Bronson Pit Show and Lisa Welchel, if you can't tell, I've been watching Battle of the Network Stars.
Yes, I was just going to say, me and my wife were watching that last night. I saw both of them on the.
Is this a modern version of it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, there's a new one.
It's going on right now. They're on like the 3rd episode or something.
You guys are starved for entertainment.
Yes, we are.
Yes, sir.
I
we are.
watched it when I was a kid. I liked the show. Actually.
I remember watching it.
Let's see. Number 6. This pop culture quiz game knows you can't handle the truth.
Lance.
Lance.
No.
Give me a second.
Joe.
No.
next.
You don't know Jack Nicholson.
There you go, Lance. Good job.
Yeah.
I was like, what's the name? There. Thank you. I love You Don't Know Jack. That's a fun game.
Yeah, that computer game. I used to have that computer
Play
game
the
around.
crap out of it.
Yep.
Number 7. This is the cocktail of choice when fighting a killer shark.
Oh, damn you. Cocktail choice.
This is the cocktail of choice when fighting a killer shark.
What are the letters? Just fill me in real quick.
No, there's no letters.
It's not there yet.
It's before and after, Forrest. Thanks for jumping in, though, you drunk.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Rob Roy Scheider.
Rob Roy
There
Scheider.
you go.
Oh,
Good
son
job.
of a bitch. I couldn't get the Rob Roy.
God
I
damn
couldn't
it,
get
Pete,
the
I
Rob
put
Roy.
that
I couldn't
in
get
just
Quint
for
out of
you.
my head.
I didn't. I couldn't.
Well, I was trying to
had
think.
no
I
idea.
was trying to think of something with Quint too. So.
Yeah, I did not know the Rob Roy. Couldn't do it.
All right. Number 8. If this inglorious bastard won the 2017 Stanley Cup.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Brad Pittsburgh Penguins.
Correct, Anthony.
I finally knew one. I couldn't say fast enough.
All right. Number 9. This legendary blonde wrestler helms the Starship Enterprise.
Say it again.
This legendary blonde wrestler helms the Starship Enterprise.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Gorgeous George Takei.
Correct, Anthony.
Wow.
And the last one, number 10. He steals picnic baskets while singing this tune with Mowgli.
Forrest.
Forrest.
Yogi Bear Necessities.
Correct, Forrest.
Nice.
And that's my 10 before and after.
Forget about All
All right, what are the initials?
Well, we don't not doing initials yet, so.
Oh, so speaking of Battle of the Network Stars, do you remember the original one, the big showdown between Robert Conrad and Gabe Kaplan?
The running, that was so
Gabe
good.
Forget.
What year was that?
Oh, it's got to be like the early 80s, right? Like 84, 83, somewhere around there.
I'm gonna look it up.
And if you haven't seen this, it's so good
The
because
series ran from like 77 to 84.
because Robert Conrad is like Mr. like fitness guy, you know, and he's all like, and he plays a tough guy on TV or whatever.
1976.
And Gabe Kaplan, of course, is, you know, Mr. Cotter. And so they're John back and forth, and basically Robert Conrad says, "Okay, let's go ahead and run a 100-yard dash or whatever it is. We'll see what he didn't realize is that Gabe Kaplan was like a marathon
Track
runner.
star.
Yeah, he was a track star, and he just
in high school or something.
and he just destroys him, and it's just like you can see the look on his eyes when he realizes he's gonna lose, and he's just like, "Oh, I look stupid."
Somebody post a link to that. I'm intrigued.
I would hope it would.
Hold on. I got the link to the video of the craziness. I'm posting it in chat.
Can you share your screen or something?
Telly Savalas was on that show too.
Oh, Telly Savalas was the man.
But yeah, it was just the fact that they were like, Telly Savalas is on there too, just looking like
smoking, and he's smoking.
Yeah. So yeah, just relaxing, because like don't they like say that like he tries to tell him that he would have won the race or whatever or something like that?
There was some sort of technicality, and that in the race, and they were complaining about that, and that's what they said the whole fight was about. And then he said, "Because you want to rerun the race?" He's like, "We can't rerun the whole race." And they're like, "Well, I'll run me against you."
Yeah,
the best was that they had Howard Cosell doing it like that, so like legitimize it as an actual like sporting event.
Yeah, but I mean, and I think if I remember correctly, so him and Gabe run, and Gabe easily beats him, right? And then I love the hair. Everybody's like big giant permed out hair and the thing. But then Gabe wins, and then Robert Conrad still tries to be kind of a jerk after it. You know, like they go on their run. I gotta find it.
Totally staged. Come on, this is like wrestling, man.
This might not have been. I don't know.
You think they would have cut time out of their meticulously scheduled?
Gabe Kaplan beat him down the stretch.
Yeah, like he bursts out, and then Gabe Kaplan just crushes him.
Where is the actual race? Is it like further
you
down?
gotta go to like 8 minutes. Go to
like an 8-minute mark. Go to the 8-minute mark.
8 minutes of a 9-minute video. Oh, so this is like a build up or something with the whole.
Oh yeah,
yeah. There's a whole. You got to see the thing. Robert Conrad going ape shit on it. Though. That's the best part.
Got him off the.
Oh, I'm ready for this.
And then Gabe Kaplan like comes over to give him a hug, and when they talk, he's kind of like self-effacing and a jerk about it too.
Oh, he is crushing them. Boom.
Blue versus red.
This is good radio.
Yeah.
We're watching YouTube.
I have never seen this.
So he agrees to the race, and so then he gets around Robert Conrad. Like he says, like, well, you know what, like the best team won. Like, so he still says like his team won, but like the best man won our race, whatever. And then he like smacks him on the face as he's walking away. He's just kind of like even though he's all gassed, you know, like as he's running, he like, it was so good. The nerds in the world.
Is it the 3 networks still, or is there other networks besides the main?
I don't.
It's not networks now. They break it into
Battle of the Stars. Battle of the Stars.
It's like sex symbols versus the soap opera people. They've broken it down now. It's just genres, not networks.
It's this year's Wipeout, is what it is.
Yeah.
They always put some show like this every year for the summer.
I can't wait till Game of Thrones, man.
Oh yeah.
4 more days. Or 5 more days. I'm tapped out of things to watch. So.
I've been humming that crap for like 5 days.
Did you guys watch Castlevania?
Wait.
I did. Castlevania's awesome.
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna watch it tomorrow.
It's totally doable in one night. It's like 80 minutes. It's great.
I need Netflix.
Oh God! The fact that you can't afford $9 a month is ridiculous.
I got Amazon Prime. It's the principle.
Anyway,
Dude,
so
Netflix has so much stuff now. It's really worth it.
Tap your secret roll.
no, so I was at Dice Tower Con, and this guy walked in.
Let's go, Mayor. Just tap the roll on the screen that matches your secret.
Who's doing the voice for that? That's not
Sorry.
No, they've got somebody different.
Are we done? Anyway,
That was the disco version of the music.
so this guy's like, I forget who he was with. He was with a couple people that I didn't know he was, but he had a Stranger Things 2 T-shirt on, and I was like, oh man, are you looking forward to the second season? And he was just like, well, yeah, I'm the location director for the show. And I was just like, and I was like, are you kidding me? And so I got to talk. He wouldn't tell me anything about the upcoming season. He says, I can't tell you anything.
Yeah, but $5 million NDA or something.
Yeah. And so, but he said that I asked him, I was like, well, are you worried the kids are going to like have their growth spurt and like ruin it? And he's like, yeah, because they're already entering it. So they're already filming season 3.
Yeah, I heard that.
And they're mapping out season 4 with the idea that they're going to be bigger. The kids are going to be older, and they're going to so it's going to the show's going to change slightly. But he said
the only person that didn't love that show. I'm definitely the only person here, right?
There's something wrong with you. Yeah.
I liked the show. I wouldn't say I loved it. I just thought it had a lot of really cool nostalgic moments that made me feel
absolutely. The nostalgia's great. But
the music is so awesome.
And the music is good.
Yeah.
It's
I like
not
that
as good as the
intro with
Grievances.
the what's that? There's a genre of music that's called, I can't remember the name of it. Like
It's called synthwave. Is what
synthwave. I love that stuff. Man.
Well, those of you who didn't like it just obviously are wrong. I mean, it's as simple as that.
I'll accept if maybe I'm wrong, but I just didn't. It was a struggle to get through it all.
Really?
Yeah.
You're the first person I've heard say that.
Well,
I just couldn't get into it. I mean, I don't know.
Forrest, you were high watching it the entire time. Let's be fair, okay?
That might have helped.
I'll be honest. I wasn't into it after the first episode. I considered not watching it anymore. But once I got through the second episode, then I was hooked.
The thing is, the weird, and I talked about this story. The worst part of the show for me was any scene that had Winona Ryder in it. It was just like it was like pulling.
She had a weird character.
She chewed the scenery up too.
And I'll say this: that the guy that I talked to, he's like, she was just as crazy to deal with as she was on the show. I mean, just like he said, it was just So take that for what you will. But I guess she's got that reputation anyway. So just being kind of a nutball. It was just I don't know. It was just so. It was the scenes with her. It always just seemed like it was like one of those things where, a little bit of exposition on her. I always dislike parts of when you're watching a show. I get pulled out of a show I'm watching when you say, all this person would have to say is this, and then people might like not be treating them like they are, but they aren't saying it because it's the linchpin that keeps the story together, right? It's like because they have to create that tension, you have to create that moment, and I've never liked that. I mean, like romantic comedies are a big one for that. It's just like there's always the misunderstanding between the two people, and if either of them just said, "Hey, can we just take 5 minutes and just kind of explain what happened, and then we can get through this?" But if they did that, then
the show
okay, yeah. But then, the movie would be horrible. See, this is the situation. I didn't have sex with your sister. I had to be, just like one of those things. Go ahead. What were you saying?
The mom in Poltergeist was way better as a frantic mom.
See, and I kept.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I gotta say, I kept thinking about the mom of Laura in Twin Peaks when I was watching.
I've never watched.
Well, she's
But
just purely hysterical all the time.
I thought that was I thought that was kind of part of the influence on the way she did the character.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to Stranger Things too. It just they released that big poster of it, and it looks fantastic.
Well, I'm sure they're going to dump a bunch more money into it, and it'll be even cooler.
Well, then you'll finally like it.
No, that's not totally. Not. I like the story. I just felt like the story was weak.
The story was definitely out there. I'll say that.
I'll say this.
It wasn't that out there, but okay, go ahead.
Oh no.
You say it wasn't that out there.
I mean, it's like a Firestarter story. I mean, it's basically It's all been done by Stephen King, right?
That's a good point.
In different ways, like you combine 4 different Stephen King novels together, and you've got Stranger Things, which is fine. I love Stephen King stuff, but it's not new.
Stephen King books are great until he gets to the final 2 chapters, and then he can't end a book. He can't figure out how to end the book. But anyway, all right. So let's just take opening bets. Let's remember this. This moment. So we got Game of Thrones coming. What characters, if any, don't survive these 7 episodes that are coming up?
Couldn't tell you. I've never seen
the kid without the teeth. I find him in. Well, no, you know what? I'm not sure.
The kid with the teeth.
I just find him missing his front teeth. That one.
No, not Stranger Things. Game of Thrones.
Oh, Game of Thrones. Sorry.
Yeah, none of those kids are dying in Stranger Things. No way.
He's killing off the kids in Stranger Things.
They should.
Yeah.
They should. If they want me to be interested in it, you need to kill off
some
more than Barb, who was very sad to kill.
Barb's back in this one.
Oh, is she?
There were pictures of her on set that they showed.
Oh, well, so it'll be a flashback of sorts.
Well, she's somewhere in the movie, somewhere in the show, but
I guess they really technically didn't kill her. They don't really know what happened to her.
Well, they found her dead body in the outer or in the other world or whatever.
I actually read an interesting article on Reddit about how Netflix and Amazon and all those series that unleash everything in one go, like all 12, 13 episodes or whatever, are a lot less likely to kill off characters because that's one of the big things that the major networks have always done is they build up the suspense to kill off that character, and when people are just binge watch it, they're a lot less likely to do it, which I thought was pretty interesting. So it actually impacts how they make the show.
All right, well,
they're going to kill off
Game of Thrones.
I'm trying to remember the names of the characters.
I'm going to name. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. I'm just going to. This is off the top of my head, and then we're going to vote on each one, so just so you can kind of think about it. Okay, and if I forget somebody that you want me to mention, fine. So in the next 7 episodes, let's go with Jon Snow.
Wait, one at a time.
No. Okay, Jon Snow lives or dies in the next 7 episodes.
Lives.
I don't know who he is.
Of course.
Pete.
You don't ever seen it.
Pay the $9.
I've never seen an episode.
Oh my gosh, Pete.
Listen to me.
I don't know you well enough to know what you like, Pete, but
Pete,
I don't know.
We're
probably pretty similar.
Pay the $9. Pay the $9 and put HBO Go or HBO Now on your PlayStation. All about
spending people's $9 tonight.
I know.
HBO Now.
Well, you can sign up for HBO Go for 2 weeks for free.
For $9, I can use my login.
Jab. Yeah, you can just use my login if it means you'll watch Game of Thrones. Come on.
Yeah, or just find a friend that has it. But no, seriously, go to your PlayStation.
But it'll probably
or
take
your
them a month
Xbox.
to watch it. It's 6 seasons, right?
Well, that's the thing. I'm not going to catch up now, so I'm pretty much.
You know how envious I am of you in a weird way.
I know, it's so amazing, right?
That you have the option.
You don't even know what you're missing.
I don't.
Yeah.
And so I'll probably watch it at some point, but not until the entire collection is on Blu-ray. And
you better watch it before your freaking game
Blu-ray.
comes out. You have to demo that shit.
Oh, you need
the game is based off the books, not the TV show.
But it's the same thing at this point. Have you read the books?
For a while.
Have you read the books, Pete?
No, I haven't.
Just shut up!
Yeah, everybody. Okay, Pete, you just be quiet because you don't know what you're talking about. So and then we'll get to the initials here in a second. So
you know what? He might die.
Snow?
Everybody, it's so obvious that he won't, right?
Let's just no discussion. No discussion. Okay. Just lives or dies, and we'll just say okay. So Jon Snow lives. That's our vote. Daenerys.
I'll say no.
Okay, Daenerys
lives.
Dies.
Even though I would love her to die in the first episode abruptly.
Dies.
I think that would be so jaw-droppingly amazing.
I think she's dying.
Not this season.
She lives.
I don't think she.
Have you ever read? There's a really great
Three-headed dragons live.
Okay, we're not discussing. We're not discussing now.
Read a theory about Daenerys Targaryen. Basically, they described her as being like the Darth Vader of the thing. Like basically like she wants to do good, but she ends up doing evil. Kind of thing. And she ends up being corrupted and changed because. Whatever. All right. Moving on. We'll go with Littlefinger.
Dies.
Everybody wants
Lives.
him to die.
He'll live, but everyone wants him to die.
He's the last man standing. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I firmly believe. I think Littlefinger lives till next season. I do.
I think Littlefinger dies
season, right?
doing something
Are we
actually
saying this season or just
good.
overall?
Wait, I thought
This
was the
season.
final
We're talking
season.
this season. This season.
Isn't
I
this
think he's
the
going to
final
end up in a dungeon, but I think he's going to live.
Okay.
Wait, time out.
Not this season.
Isn't this the final season?
No,
No.
there's
No.
is like
no
and
one
then
more.
there's 7
Oh.
episodes and then 7 more.
All right, well then I gotta change my stories then.
All right. Well, do you want to go back?
Yeah, Jon Snow
Jon
does
Snow?
not die. Does not die.
Daenerys Targaryen.
Yes. Nope. She's gonna die
Not
this
this
season.
season.
Not this season.
No.
So there's some people.
Not
Littlefinger's
this
person. Okay, the Hound.
Dies.
Lives.
Lives.
I don't really care.
Lives.
Well, yeah, no, he does.
They're both gonna die for the same reason, protecting one of the Stark girls.
He's gonna die
The
from
Mountain is still
food
alive,
poisoning,
right?
eating every
That brother on brother
chicken in
fight.
the place.
The mountain is alive if you put that in quotes.
Well, yeah, but
Oh,
the Hound,
that's a
the
good
Hound has to
point.
kill. The Hound has to kill a mountain, doesn't he?
Yeah, of course. That
Yeah.
you have to have that, but he has to die too.
The Clegane Bowl, as they
I
said.
hope Littlefinger kills the mountain.
The Hound dies killing the mountain.
Of course.
Yeah.
And he's got to burn him, right? That's what I think. It would be one of those things where
Burning.
he's gonna have to burn the mountain, but he's gonna have to like burn himself at the same time. Because
He'll have to
Gonna
break
overcome his
fire to
Right.
kill the mountain.
yeah. I mean, the only thing I can think of is if I mean, I don't know. That's like, okay. Of course, we'll have to go with the imp.
Lives.
It's
Lives.
too expensive to kill.
I hate
Yeah.
it, but he's going to die.
Not
Not
till
this
the
season.
very end if he does.
Nope.
Not this.
There-
season.
There's
Talk about
a-
Sean Bean.
There's a great theory that he'll be one of the Dragon Riders because like the big
Right, aren't
thing
they
is
all sort of related?
well yeah they say that that the Mad King actually impregnated Tywin's wife and she gave birth to Tyrion. That's because in the books he's got two different colored eyes and one of his eyes is violet colored like the Targaryens have. So that's a big theory. All right, Arya,
Lives.
Lives.
Sansa,
Dies.
Lives.
Dies. No, lives. I'm gonna go lives.
She'll kill Littlefinger.
You think?
Yeah.
Because Littlefinger's the last person left that killed
I'll
her
go with
dad.
that.
Yeah,
She'll
I can
find
see-
out what happened somehow.
I can buy into that. How many of the dragons survive this season?
Did you just like skip the most important person?
No, we can go back. We just how many dragons survived this season?
2.
2.
They got to have Drogon's the last one, right? I mean,
All of them. I don't
Wait,
think a
there needs
dragon's
to be
going to die
3.
at all.
They have to lose a dragon.
To have
Yeah,
three
I think a
kings, you have to
dragon.
have
I think a
three
dragon definitely dies. in this
That's
season.
going to be a giant, amazing set piece. It's just going to crush the hell out of something.
Yeah.
yeah,
All 3 live.
all
this
3
season.
live.
Mm-mm.
I say
Yeah,
all
I
three
don't-
too.
I
They're
don't
gonna
think a
end.
dragon's
They're
going to
gonna
die.
end an episode with one of those dragons dying.
I agree with that.
What about what's his face? The Unsullied
Dead.
guy.
Oh,
Oh,
No.
guys.
The
Yeah,
face
he'll
of
die.
Dead.
Grey
Dies.
Worm? No, Grey Worm, right?
Yeah, Grey
Yeah.
Worm.
Yeah, Grey
Yeah,
Worm
I don't
dies.
care about him. No one cares
Yeah,
about
nobody
him.
cares about him.
A lot of people care about him.
No, I like him, but he's gonna die.
wait, who
Not
the hell
a-
are we talking about? Grey Worm.
Grey Worm.
The guy with the
the
hand
leader,
stuff?
the kind of the leader of the
You-
Unsullied.
You teach me to speak the
Yeah.
language of the Cersei.
No, I don't care.
You're referring to Gior Mormont, the
Yeah.
guy.
Oh, he's
Friend-
dead. He's
friend
already
zone.
dead. He's
He
already
will-
dead.
Mormon.
He
I
should
bet
Oh,
he will,
yeah.
He's gonna live.
he will come back and do something to save Daenerys and die doing it.
Jorah. Yeah,
be
Jorah.
Jorah.
He's gonna be
Gior.
the king.
No, it's Jorah.
It's Jorah.
Well,
Jorah.
Jorah. It's Jeor, I believe is his name.
It's Jorah.
They pronounce it Jorah.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Well,
he
but
has-
it's how it's
he's already dead.
He's as good as dead.
My favorite character is going to die this season.
What's
Oh
up?
yeah, Jor was his father. Jor was his father.
My favorite character is going to die this season.
My favorite characters make it to the end.
Everyone thinks that. Well, we'll get there.
Who are you talking
What
about,
the
Anthony?
spider?
The spider is going to die this season.
I don't
I don't
think
think so. I think Varys lives.
I think he's dead.
Who is the spider?
Varys.
The
I
bald
think he
guy.
lives.
But the weird thing about him and
Oh yeah,
him
Varys.
and
Okay, yeah.
Oh, it's time for driving in cars with game designers.
He could die.
the weird thing about Varys though is that his whole reason in the books is that he's trying to bring back the Targaryens. He's
Right.
so I don't know. It'll be one of those things where he's actually succeeding. What about Dario Naharis, the guy who's in love with Daenerys?
Well, I hope he dies.
What? Who cares?
Oh, I don't care. Who cares?
I straight hate him.
He's a nothing character.
He is nothing
Enough for me
character,
to hate him.
but he's technically important or whatever.
Disposable. Whatever.
I think.
Yeah, well, he's
Wait,
supposed,
Are we skipping over Cersei?
supposed to have blue hair.
Well, Cersei's going to live to the very end, and
Yeah, that's what I'm
Cersei,
saying.
Cersei
gonna win
will
it
be killed by Jaime.
Cersei's
going to
be the queen, and Cersei's going to kill Jaime, and no one's going to see it coming. And
No,
George R. R.
Jaime is
Martin.
going to kill
Jamie's
Cersei.
gonna kill
Yeah,
Cersei.
no, Jaime
Jaime will
has
kill.
Cersei is going to
Cersei
win it all. She is
is
going to
going
be
to
the
kill
last
Tyrion.
one standing.
Forrest.
Yes.
Forrest.
There we go.
What is the third dream, the third premonition she was given?
Yes. She knows what that is.
No.
She's going to kill both
No,
brothers.
but she thinks it's Tyrion that's going to kill her. She doesn't think it's
Yeah,
Jaime.
she's gonna kill Tyrion,
Jaime
and
is
then
no.
she'll kill Jaime.
She's not going to kill Tyrion. But Jaime is going to kill her.
Yeah,
Well, because here's the deal. So the big theory
No,
is
win
that
it
she
all.
was told that her younger brother will strangle her to death. And the thing is that I think it's one of those things that they've always said.
She was
that-
born first.
That yes,
right.
and if they always said that Jaime in the books they said Jaime was born first, so he was in line to be the ruler. That was the whole thing. So there would never be any question. And it's going to come out that that she was born first of the two, and that is why. And so she's going to have that mentality, and I think that's where they're going to go with it. And the thing about that, if you want, is that she's the last really bad person. Other than the White Walkers, obviously, because the White Walkers are just a force,
You're
but they're
just misunderstood.
You can't kill off your villains.
they're a force of nature. No, she'll live this season. She will die. There's just
Sparrow is dead, right? That was the end of
Yeah.
yeah.
She is my favorite character in the entire thing. And I hope she
Likewise, I'm
wins
with
it all.
Joe. She's going to win it all.
I think she's going to
All
be
right.
the last one standing.
Name the wager.
$20 American.
Name the wager.
Our usual bet.
We don't have a usual bet, Joe.
One
That's
American
such a hard bet
dollar.
to make.
What are trading places?
Well, yeah, but this is not
The
trading
usual
places.
wager.
I still
Usual
need to
wager.
collect on the Trump bet, unfortunately, with you, Lance.
God dang it! I haven't sent you your paint yet.
You shouldn't profit off of that.
Believe me, I don't like
sad.
it. I don't like it.
I have
Don't.
2 bets I'm trying to collect on from Lance.
I owe you $20 American and some paint, right?
Okay, hold
You
on.
owe me, you owe me $40 American
We're
dollars.
getting off track. Back on track.
Okay,
4 characters.
I'll make a bet with you. Who do you
What do
think is
I
gonna
owe
win?
you? What do I owe you, Scott? Do I owe you $20?
Yeah, Trump.
Yeah, that's right.
Stupid election.
Oh yeah, remind me. I got to give you $20 when we
Or,
get to,
yeah.
when I see you at Gen Con. Anyway,
All right, so we have to come up with something that actually makes sense, though. You have to choose a character, and you have to decide if they're going to die before or after Cersei. That would be a bet.
No. That's not a bet. You are saying that she's going to win it all.
Yeah.
I'm saying no, she's not. She's going to die. So here's the thing. So if you want to if you want me to give you odds or something, then fine, I can give you odds because you're giving me the
this
feel.
is going to be
basically.
This is going to be 2 years from now. Then we're
Fine.
going to collect on this, right?
I'm not going to delete the episode. It'll be
No,
here.
no, that's fine. I'm just trying to figure out what exactly. Okay, so what we're saying is
Mike
that
always pays his debt.
At the very end of the last season of the last episode of the last season, if Cersei has not died, I win.
No.
Okay.
Well, okay. Let me think.
that's
Yeah,
fair.
she has to die. Yeah, she has to die. Yep. I'm okay with that. That parameter is something that I can agree with.
Okay, I'll take that bet.
And my theory is that she's going to be strangled by Jaime's golden hand. That's
I'm telling you,
what.
it's going to be the opposite. She's going to find out that Jaime
Is it a sex game gone wrong?
Forrest, why don't you put up what you're willing to lose, which would be like 17 cents and a sock you found underneath your couch?
He needs.
We'll do a beer at next year's Origins.
We won't know by then.
Domestic.
Oh yeah, a beer.
Domestic. I know a bar that has 50-cent draws.
Here's a warm PBR I found in my trunk. There's your bet.
There is still a bar in town that on Thursday nights in my town they have 50-cent draw night where you get a 10-ounce beer for 50 cents. Admittedly, it's like Milwaukee's Best or something, but it's still
Hams.
Hey,
Ooh,
Hams is beer refreshing.
Those
Ham
commercials are amazing.
is beer refreshing.
Commercials.
Let's shout out a couple other characters. Sir
So
Davos.
this season is off the books, right? It's diverged from this season.
Yes.
Yeah, well, no, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't know
We don't know.
because it's ahead of the book.
Yeah, so
But he has told them who lives, who dies.
supposedly, yes.
Yeah, he's given them the entire script of what happens.
Right, but they've been off book for a bit. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hams is beer refreshing. Hams
Correct.
is beer refreshing.
Dance
I
of
didn't
Dragons
get Stoneheart.
and what happened in the shows did not mirror each other at
Well,
all.
they could bring Lady Stoneheart back now.
I wish they would.
Really? I don't think they will.
Sorry. They won't. They won't, but I loved that character.
Because the Hound joined up with the Brotherhood Without Banners,
Mhm.
they could totally bring Lady Stoneheart back. Because Beric Dondarrion is still alive. And how cool is that when you see him and he grabs his sword and the flames start on his sword in the trailer. But Beric Dondarrion's still alive. So is I can't think
The
of
priestess.
the priest. I can't think of his name right now.
I don't think they do it anyway.
Starts with an M.
I think
We
the
didn't talk
actress.
about,
I think the actress that played what's her face though is off doing something other show now.
Caitlin Tully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and then what about Melisandre? She's got to die, right?
Yes.
Didn't she already die?
absolutely.
Isn't she dead?
Yeah. Wait.
No.
Yeah.
No,
She's dead.
Ooh, I've totally forgot. My favorite character in the whole show, the Onion Knight. Does he live?
Oh, the Onion Knight.
dead.
No.
No,
No,
he
he's died.
Yeah,
He'll live.
Davos is dead.
Okay, I will say one thing about Davos. His chapters were the most boring to get through in the book.
Are you
They
kidding
were
me? Any chapter that said Daenerys was the most boring chapter of all time.
No, that's actually fair.
Davos,
I was actually
Davos
worried
sounded
about
really
how
good.
they were going to do some.
No, I like Daenerys' chapters in the book.
Of course you would. What about?
I don't know his name, but he's the Greyjoy guy that came back.
Theon.
Oh,
Theon, and then Theon, and then the uncle.
Theon has to do something that basically vindicates him. Like,
Yeah, he's still got to do a redemption story.
he'll have to save.
I thought he kind of already did that.
What
Yeah,
about
I'm about to say if that didn't redeem him, I don't know what will.
what about everybody's favorite 10-year-old girl who runs Bear Island?
Oh,
We won't see her again.
She's dead first episode this season.
We won't see.
No.
They're just gonna slit her throat just for giggles.
That'd be great.
They won't even show her.
They killed children.
Everyone's
Have
going
killed
nuts.
children on this movie.
well, what about Bran?
Who
Bram.
cares?
Bran has
What?
from the Bran
Second most boring chapters.
Bran's chapters are boring. But
How is this book popular? It's so boring.
Yes, but they've actually managed to make him even less interesting on the show.
Bran
Yeah,
will
true.
Bran will end up being the new guy, this new third, the crow. He'll be the third, the crow with three eyes.
He already is.
The most
Okay.
exciting thing he's ever done is fallen out of a window 6 years ago.
What's
So
the name?
salty.
What's the name of the kid? He's a king of the area. I can't remember the area where the hole in the
Oh, the veil.
Oh,
veil. Yeah,
Oh.
What's
He'll die.
he's gonna die, right?
He's
Yeah.
he's already dead.
He's already.
No, he isn't. He's still alive.
No, oh, that's
They were,
right.
They were training him, right?
He
He's
killed the
training
mom. He killed the
Well,
mom.
he's gonna starve.
gonna
He
kill
doesn't
the
have his mom's teeth.
Without the kid, What the heck?
What is that sound?
Seth is blending. What are you blending?
Next stop, 14th Street. Please take all your packages with you.
What about the Dornish lady?
Well, how about that? How about that? It was like this last season was like, and we're off, and we're gonna kill everybody in Dorne, and we're never gonna come back. It was just like,
That's true. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was like they even knew. It was just like,
Oh, what about Braun?
Oh, I hope he's the king. I don't give a shit.
No, come on.
Braun's one of my favorite characters.
He's
as
not.
well.
He's not royal.
he even said Martin said, you haven't seen the last of Ron. He still has one important thing to do. He said that in an interview once. So he's got something that he has to do, but it does make it sound like basically it's a one and done. Then he's done. You know, he's out. He's killed or dead or something.
Dead this season.
Yeah.
I'm rewatching the series with my wife so that she's like caught up for the new ones because she just caught episodes here and there. And so we just finished the episode tonight where Braun won the fight to save Tyrion in the Vale. Yep. That show is so freaking good.
I'll say this. This has to end. This season has to end like on a serious down note. One, because the next season it will be like the redemption season and it'll be the final story. And two, the end of this, like season 6 or whatever, like they gave us what we wanted, right? We got to see the Boltons die. We got to see the dragons just rip crap up. We got to, like the people that like we cared about had their like moments. We got to watch.
We did have the bad guys win though.
Well,
seriously, right?
but like just for example, the two guys that are having orgasms over in this conversation here, that's what they wanted to see. They wanted to see Cersei like
that's the same guy that roots for Darth Vader to put Han Solo in carbonite too.
No, Cersei is the best character in the entire freaking show.
Actually, I would contend that Jaime is a much better character because how else would you hated him? Fucking hated him for 3 seasons, and now everybody loves him. They just forget about the fact that he tried to kill a kid.
He's actually changed for the better, while Cersei has gotten more evil.
Yeah, and it's just he's got the better story arc.
Look at what she's dealt with. No, she has the best story arc.
What has she dealt with? What has she dealt with that's so?
She's like the 18.
All of her kids are dead.
Yes, because of her machinations.
Like, exactly, but I'm still saying she still is dealing with that. That doesn't mean she's not dealing with it.
Well, no,
all his kids are dead too.
Yeah, when Tom killed himself, she looked tore the hell up, didn't she?
But all of Jaime's kids are killed too.
Yeah,
I mean, seriously, that whole build up towards that shame walk. I mean, that was a serious character arc.
Jaime got his hand cut off.
Wait, Lance, I'm gonna walk away.
We never even talked about Brienne.
That's who dies at the end of the season.
Brienne.
Yes.
Into this season,
really,
the White Walkers
she's
breached
my
the wall.
favorite character.
Who's your favorite character? They're Robert.
Is Brienne.
Yeah, I mean, she's got to be in the next Star Wars movie, so she can leave, right?
But she dies as a direct result of something that Cersei does.
Yes,
and that's what pushes Jaime over the edge.
Yeah, because Jaime actually, in a weird way, loves her. You know. Mm-hmm. And you know, and it's just probably because of the fact that like, you know, that she doesn't like fall all over herself, and because I think in a weird way he wishes he was as honorable as Brienne, like you know, because he you know, sees her as some like epitome of what he wished he could be.
So there's one thing about the whole series that I still am trying to like get wrapped into my mind is the whole aspect that they deal with the different gods. I don't see how that's playing into it yet because it's like they really try to build up all of these different gods, and I don't know how they're playing a part yet.
Have you read the books? Okay, so well then you know that R'hllor in the book is the Lord of Light is like they have the like who is the reincarnation of the Lord of Light, and there's the hint that it's Jon Snow possibly. There's a hint that it's Tyrion. There's another hint that I forget who the other person they've suggested, and none of them have. None of them have performed the sacrifice to become, you know, the to prove they are the new Lord of Light. So I think the idea is that the 7 is outdated and old, and people have moved past the 7, and the Lord of Light is what's going to be needed theoretically to eradicate the White Walkers.
But they put so much stock in the old gods, you know.
Well, and there's the drowned god as well, you know.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would like the series more if there was more kind of like a little bit more given to that, other than just mentions.
Well, it's just one of those things where you can't. I mean, because of the fact that it's, I mean, you did a little bit with the Sparrow until you blew him up. You know, so there was that going on. But it's one of those things where it's like you just can't. The books can go into all that stuff a lot more, but I mean, they basically haven't even really talked about the reincarnation of the Lord of Light at all, except a little bit with Stannis, and then they just kind of walked away from it. And then they talked a little bit about it.
The worst character.
Stannis is actually was one of my favorite characters in the books, as far as just like, you know, how screwed up his own personal sense of honor was.
I liked him in the books. I didn't like the actor they picked for him.
If you want to see him in a really good movie, I can't. Oh, give me a second. The guy who played Stannis, and actually, I kind of enjoyed him. The bad thing about Stannis was they never let him really like be like the guy in the books, right? It was just like they couldn't get him to that point or whatever because of the fact that it was like the multifaceted Stannis. I mean, obviously that's the books, you know.
So who does everyone think is going to be sitting on the throne at the end of everything?
There
I
won't
think
be,
Cersei.
I don't think there will be a throne. I think the throne will be melted down by a dragon, and there just will not be an Iron Throne.
Then who's going to be the quote unquote winner?
Well, I don't think this is also you're asking for a winner, and I don't think there is going to be a winner. I think it's going to be a situation where that it's going to be Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen are going to do whatever they have to do to prevent the White Walkers from killing everybody. And that's how the thing is. And there's going to be some penultimate thing. And yes, and then we'll get like a 10-minute final thing where it shows all the people that lived, where they've moved forward and gone on with their lives and done whatever. But I think the idea of there being the 7 kingdoms or whatever, and like, or the 5 kingdoms or whatever, that's just not going to exist anymore. It'll just be like, and remember that the big giant story about the whole thing is that winter is like this like really long season, and then you have summer for a long time, and then winter for a long time, you know, like for years. And I think one of the things is that they're going to basically then, like, winter is going to go away. Like whatever ultimate thing that happens when they destroy the White Walkers, when they destroy all those things, when they destroy that portion, maybe they don't even destroy them. Maybe they like save the White Walkers, like they turn them back to human or something, or maybe like that. And then when they do that through some sacrifice with like the dragons or Daenerys or Jon Snow or whatever, when they figure out what they have to do, then the world of Westeros actually then goes back to summer, and then it's like a permanent summer kind of thing. You know, and I think that's what it's going to be. It's just they're not going to have an Iron Throne.
You're way too optimistic.
No, well,
that got real touchy feely.
Go back, go and read any of his stuff that isn't Game of Thrones. It's all, he doesn't have negative endings. He has positive endings to his stories. Like, read his short stories. He is not we're going to leave everything on a down note. That's not the way that Martin writes. Now he could throw a curve and decide this is going to be his one where like the bad guys win, or it isn't really a happy ending or something like that. Maybe he'll go that route. But I think it's one of those things where it's like you're going to see a lot of beloved characters die that you're going to be sad about. And you know, but ultimately it's going to be a like positive, looking forward, things are going to be better type of ending, and that's how it's going to end.
Initials.
Well, no, I was going to say,
no.
Go and watch the movie 44-Inch Chest, and that it came out in like the late, like I think like 2008, 2009. It's a game about. No, it's a game about. It's a movie about like like getting revenge kind of thing, and it's like kind of it's a comedy / drama, like kind of like dark comedy. But Stephen Delane, the guy who plays, he's a supporting actor in that, and very, very good in that movie. As far as the guy who played Stannis.
All right, initials.
So there you go. Give me 5 minutes. I'll be right back. Not even 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes.
What?
Not even 5 minutes. I gotta go tuck my daughter in. She's going to bed.
He needs to drink 3 gallons of water. Oh, and now the one that talks is gone.
I'll never get that 30 minutes of my life back.
Seriously, Pete, it might be the best TV show that's ever been made.
It may be,
I would
but
concur.
after listening to that, I will never watch that show.
Oh man, so good though.
Why?
Because I do not. What you guys sounded like reminded me of when I would be sitting around the pool as a kid and listening to my grandmother talk about days of our lives with her girlfriend. Not gonna happen.
You guys, it's 100% not gonna
That's
happen.
what it is.
Except people die.
And there's wieners
more.
flopping
What?
around.
Yeah, people die
I'm
in soap
good, I'm
operas
good.
too. It's and they came back to life. It is a soap opera. Pete's right. It is dead on a soap opera.
That's fine.
So, are you guys done talking about Game of Thrones now?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Lance
Thank
went to
God.
go tuck a kid in, and then we're running initials.
Thank God. I've been sitting here for the last like 20 minutes just listening to you talk about nonsense I don't know nothing about. I was like,
I'm with you. I'm so with you, Seth. I almost logged
This
off.
is how most of your friends feel when you talk about board games, right?
It's a very good
sorry,
point.
if they play this a board game themed chat.
So, when is the Kickstarter?
Did you guys already talk board games?
Here's a good question. When does the Kickstarter go live?
It's already live.
We have not officially announced yet.
Oh,
You
it
should
launched.
watch your email in the TMG newsletter. You'll hear about all things.
No,
other things
I was
like
talking about Game
what
of
date the
Thrones.
Kickstarter's going.
It's not always all about
There, Game of
TMG.
Thrones.
I was talking about the Game of Thrones Kickstarter.
Yeah, Song of Ice and Fire hasn't been officially announced yet, but it is coming soon.
Y'all
Is
just
it this
finished
month?
Zombicide.
It is coming
18?
soon.
Okay, that would be
Can
tomorrow.
you do it after Gen Con?
They're gonna launch it next.
Don't you have to tell Kickstarter that you're going to launch it so they can bone up on the back servers? Because then,
Well, yeah, but we
Remember-
haven't officially announced the actual date yet.
oh, okay.
Is that the next Kickstarter for you guys?
Yes, yeah, we've already said that was it. After Green Horde, we said Song of Ice and Fire will be the next Kickstarter coming soon.
Okay.
I predict 10 million.
Yeah. I just
Million. Jesus Christ.
I
that's-
don't back cool many or not.
That might be
I know
low.
that y'all always send out the teaser at the very last end, like the last update.
10 million might be low.
Could be.
And it could it's one of those ones that's really hard to predict because it's got a great IP. And
If you can catch the IP, semi-interested people with the right.
Yeah, it's launching right as the new season's starting too. It's gonna ride like a pretty big wave.
But you're not tied with the show at all, right? It's purely book.
It
book
doesn't
license.
matter.
I know it doesn't matter.
What
I'm
does
just
that
saying
matter?
Yeah, I know it doesn't matter.
I'm
But
not backing it.
I'm suspecting Monday or Tuesday next week, or I don't know. That might be a little early.
Pete, is this a full-fledged minis game?
It is a miniatures game, but it is very board game accessible, if that makes sense. And the Kickstarter will only be a small portion of what is to come.
But
most of the line will be
So it's an
released through
expandable
retail. Yeah.
Is all you do just build armies and fight armies? Is that the entire thing?
No. There is other things.
There
to
has
it.
to be politics in a game of.
Yeah.
game.
There's only so much I can talk about on this particular subject, but it is more than just I take a force, you take a force, we beat each other up. There's more to it.
Joe, did you ever play the Game of Thrones Fantasy Flight version?
Is that an 18xx game?
No.
No.
It's a great game.
Except
No.
I will never play it. It's too diplomatic, too diplomacy.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing is I hate playing those games, especially when there just might be that one person you're gonna invest 5 hours and one person's just gonna like
Turn
just
the dagger on
make
you.
that-
Yeah, it wrecks your game.
well, not even ruin my game, like attack me. That's fine. It's just make the game bad because they don't want to play the game with the right spirit. You know, like
I've had
backstab
that
each
happen in
other.
Twilight Imperium.
Yeah, backstab all you want. Table talk, do the whole subterfuge thing. That's fine. But if you just have one guy that's just like throwing the game because he's not winning or whatever, and you just lose like a 6-hour experience for it. That annoys me.
The guy that sells it out
I don't like
to go
games
after
like that.
one person.
What was that, Seth?
That's why I don't like games like that. It could happen, and why take the risk?
Game of Thrones board game was some of my worst memories of board gaming.
Really?
Battlestar Galactica is one of mine.
Oh.
I've never had a clean game of that.
By the way, Seth,
Really?
congratulations.
Congratulations.
Wow, you need a microphone.
Seth's got
Can't
a
hear
good
you, man.
connection.
What'd you say?
Seth's in his car driving.
Still?
He's on his phone.
You can't hear anything.
What Seth's trying to say is thanks. I'm really happy to see it's doing well.
It is doing. Oh my goodness! I was not expecting that to do that crazy good. That's awesome.
And then Seth ruined it by asking people to make a solo version of the game.
Why don't you track
Actually,
down the
people are
guy that did
asking
it for
me for
Scythe?
solo versions.
Well, screw them.
Track down the guy who
It's not a
did the
solo
Scythe
game.
He keeps
solo
muting
game.
solo version, and is my mic working? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, now
Now it is.
Now we can. Yeah, like a
Sounds like an
Well.
old video game voice, like the guys in Robotron or something.
All right, we're doing initials. Let's do initials.
What were we all laughing about that I missed?
We were having
That's
three-
mic wasn't
No,
working.
we
And
were
finally
having-
it worked. He's like, "Is it working now?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay."
That's fucking great.
Hey Lance, did you vote for Scythe Game of the Year in the Dice Star Awards?
No.
What did you vote for?
None of your damn business. That's why it's a
Why
secret.
won't you tell you? Why don't you tell us? You don't stand behind your vote.
I stand by my vote. I also
Each vote
stand
was my
behind.
Game of the Year last year. I voted for it. BGG.
What?
Well, I mean, I'm not invited to the Dice Star Awards voting, but
No. Okay. Wait a minute.
I
Time out.
voted for it.
What'd you vote for?
The, Feast for Odin.
Oh, good for you.
What was your pick?
Not Sitha.
Not Feast for Odin. I'm sure.
and not Fest for Odin.
Terraforming Mars.
Way to be a reviewer.
The Dice Star Awards are a sanctified.
It's not secret votes, is it? Don't you have to talk about
It
it?
is secret. We're not supposed to tell anybody about it when we vote, or the
No?
nominations or anything.
Yeah.
Wait, after it's revealed, you can say who you voted for, right? But
That
it's
does
over.
actually make sense afterwards. Yeah, I didn't vote. I voted for Scythe.
No, I just wonder what Lance voted
You're
for.
just a tool.
I mean,
I would have voted for Vast, but it didn't make the list, even though it did have 2 or 3 people who nominated it.
Man, I need to play Vast with you because I did not have that fun of a time with it.
I gave my
you gotta
best.
remember, you gotta remember, Forest is usually high. So
Yeah. Initials.
Initials.
Yay.
Oh, I was just gonna say I did
Oh
play.
my god.
No, I did play. I did play Immortals, the new Cube Tower game from
Mike
Queen,
Elliott.
and I played with Mike Elliott, and I was very pleasantly surprised. I did not think I would enjoy it, and I actually found myself enjoying myself. Maybe it was because Mike Elliott was a very erudite individual, and he was fun to speak to. So, but I think if you like those Cube Tower games, you're gonna like Immortals. So.
What are our initials?
We got a lot of people here this time.
We do.
All right.
Waiting for initials.
Hey,
Give the
Keith, did I
spiel.
see you drinking a beer earlier, Keith?
No, it was a Sprecher red apple soda.
I don't think I've ever seen you drink a beer.
You probably won't see me drink a beer because I don't like beer.
Fair
I'll choke
enough.
one down if somebody gives me one, but I'll never buy one.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right, give the spiel. Tell them how it's played.
All right, so this is Robert. You don't know what this is. This is initials. Keith has count them 5 and 5 and 5, 15 initials and plus 1 tiebreaker. He's going to give us initials. So if his initials were, let's say they're RG, and then he's going to give clues, 5 clues per category. that will eventually lead people to figure out what those initials are for. And those initials can be people, places, things, sayings, whatever. But they all have to have the same initials. So if there were RG and somebody said, Dice Tower video reviewer with a really stupid hat, and I would say, Lance, to sign in, and I would say, because your buzzer is your name, I would sign
Lance,
in.
you're not on the Dice Tower.
And I would say, my initials also aren't RG. And I would say Robert Geislinger. If the initials were like SA and somebody said the $86 million man, and you would say Lance, and I would say Scott Alden, because actually I haven't done Worth the Web for you in a couple of days.
Not true.
What?
Not true.
Well, I heard you went up $1 million when you banned John Bohr. So, I mean, don't quote me. Who knows?
So for the audience, tweet at CBJ Podcast with your guess of which contestant will win and how many they will get right.
Correct answer is going to be Anthony.
I have to answer in Morse code tonight.
That you do.
Anthony has to wait for clue 6.
Yeah. Let me see here. Okay, here we go. Let's see what is Aldi worth today.
84.2.
Well, mine says, hold on, 80.
I was guessing.
80. Mine says 84.75, but the report is 21 days old, so I'm going to update this report by clicking this button here.
Anthony, 84.2.
Of course, Jared Leto.
Holy cow! Holy cow! It was at 84.75 million. It's at 85.25 million dollars.
See that, Aldi? You can afford a new keyboard now.
You know what happened?
I don't have to do that.
Somebody was listening when I said that you had banned John Bohr from your site.
Okay.
And they immediately increased the value.
All right. Who would like their initials for the?
My initials are
please.
LM.
So I tried to put together initials twice.
LMNO, thank you. NOLM.
This is like the most hostile crowd of all time on the boom. You guys are all like you guys are all
12:30 in the morning.
I know, right?
Yes.
It's
I've got to sit at my computer and do not that much tomorrow. So,
all right. Your initials are AM.
AM.
AM. Like Arthur Murray. AM.
AM.
AM. Take your moment. Make your notes.
AM.
AM.
I got nothing. Says good old Forrest.
And Forrest was predicting Forrest with 16, but I don't think he's going to get it.
What?
Forrest predicted himself with 16 because he was going to get the tiebreaker even though he had 15. So.
No shot. I mean, it's going to be Anthony with like 9 or 10, I'm sure. All
right.
AM. Hold on, AM. I'm writing down one more.
Don't copy my list, guys. Don't copy it.
That's a good-looking list right there, Forrest. All right. Are you done making your notes, Lance?
I got one more.
Okay.
I just thought of one other one. All right. There we go.
All right, here we go. Number 1. The weekly Alaboom typically ends here.
Go.
After hours.
Lance.
Joe.
After midnight.
Incorrect, sir.
Lance.
Aldi.
Lance.
After Meridian.
Incorrect.
Aldi. Anti-meridian.
Spell it.
ANTE.
Okay.
Anti.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Aldi.
Yeah, I forgot to call my name.
Do we have to spell these now? Is that a new thing?
Well,
No,
I
but
said
I wanted to
anti,
make
should've
sure he
said
said the
He
right.
pronounced it funny.
He pronounced it funny. Yes. Anti-meridian, otherwise known as AM.
I like After Midnight.
I'll lay on the board with 1. After Midnight was a good one.
After midnight, we're gonna let it all hang out.
Number 2.
That was my only one I had written down.
Nice. Number 2. Originated in the namesake of the hamburger. Was a former research scientist with a doctorate in physical chemistry.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Angela Merkel.
That's correct, Anthony.
What?
Leader of Germany.
How did you know that?
Yeah, assumed her position in 2005. Currently known for internet memes for her eye rolls in political settings, and is the Chancellor of Germany. There you go.
After midnight.
Number 3. Originated in Southampton, England. Is known for gatherings.
Lance.
Lance.
Alan Moon.
Very good, Lance.
Oh, nice.
Very good. We're rolling. Number 4. Have existed for centuries. Mike Myers married one.
Oh, Forrest.
Pete, I heard.
Axe murderer.
That's correct, Pete. You know,
That was it. I just want to give kudos to our game show host. That's a good clue, or that's a good answer.
Next one was Lizzie Borden was tried and acquitted of being one.
Mm-hmm.
Could also use a hatchet. So.
Someone's gonna win tonight besides me because I'm breaking up.
Oh, look at that! Already using
She's breaking up.
No, I got the have existed for centuries, and the second clue was mixed together.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't hear a break in between it.
Number 5.
Could go slower.
Originated in 1962. Is known for his small roles. Is a leading authority in myrmecology research.
What?
3 different individuals have had this title.
What?
Last clue. Is a founding member of the Avengers.
Pete.
Lance.
Forrest.
Ant-Man.
That's correct, Pete. Ant-Man.
I think I was ahead of him.
I heard Pete. I did not even hear Lance. I heard Forrest after Pete.
I got jobbed.
I think I got jobbed last time.
All right, we're rolling. We're up to number 6. The practical development occurred between 1900 and 1920. The first transmission took place in 1900 over a distance of 1 mile. It became more efficient. Anthony.
Oh, crap.
Audio message.
Incorrect.
Okay, good. I can't even hear the questions.
Became more efficient with the invention of the vacuum tube.
Lance.
Lance?
I'm trying to remember. Amplitude modulation.
Correct, Lance.
AM radio. Yes.
Yes, that is correct.
Yes. Count it.
Yep.
Put it on the board.
Currently, it's Lance 2, Pete 2, Anthony 1, Aldi 1.
I would like to say that I would have gotten Ant-Man before Pete, but you didn't.
Yeah, but you didn't.
But
I said it. I said my name.
I heard Pete first.
You didn't even go to the crowd. You didn't even.
I clearly heard Pete first.
Yeah.
And you didn't protest before he answered.
It was like this. Kabuki is saying I was first, so.
No,
all right, so to tell what kind of lag I have, Keith just said, I clearly heard Pete first.
We hear you crystal clear, so I don't know what's wrong. Which is unusual, because usually you're the one that sounds like the director.
Unusual.
All right, number 7. Originated October 17th, 1959. Former homicide detective of the San Francisco Police Department.
What the?
Works as a private police consultant. Suffers from OCD and multiple phobias.
Oh,
I don't know.
Lance.
Oh,
Lance?
I don't know.
Give me a second.
No.
Arthur Monk.
5. Incorrect, sir.
Forrest.
Forrest?
Alfred Monk.
Incorrect, sir.
He didn't say anything.
Yeah,
Joe.
Forrest did. Joe?
Albert Monk.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Final clue.
I don't know what the guy's name is, Ian.
Oh, damn it.
What was it? I didn't hear the last
I didn't
clue.
hear it.
Portrayed by Tony Shalhoub.
I know his first name now.
Anthony. Adrian Monk.
There it is.
Adrian Monk is
Adrian Monk.
correct, Anthony.
There it is.
Trying to
That's
figure
correct.
out A names.
It was something close to that.
Number 8.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Originated in Ontario, Canada.
Lance.
Lance?
Alanis Morissette.
Correct, Lance.
Thank you.
I didn't even hear Lance say his name.
I did that time. Beginner stint as an
Ontario,
actor.
Canada. Alanis Morissette. I'm like, okay.
Yep, that's what I said.
I was waiting for anything to do with Canada, and I knew it was going to be Alanis Morissette.
She began her stint as an actor in 1986 on You Can't Do
Can't
That
do
on
that
Television.
on television. Yep.
Yeah.
Has portrayed God
Yep.
as a winner of 7 Grammy Awards.
Also, I worked security for one of her concerts. A very nice lady.
Cool. Number 9. Originated in Kingston, Texas. Had a 21-year acting career. Portrayed himself in one of his films. Joined the Army after being turned down by the Marines and Navy for being underweight and underaged. Final clue. Received the Medal of Honor for Valor demonstrated at the age of 19 for single-handedly. Lance.
Audie Murphy.
Audie Murphy is correct.
Thank you. Put it on the board.
Never heard of him.
He was like one of the most decorated soldiers of all time.
Yeah, he received the Medal of Honor. He single-handedly held off an entire company of German soldiers for an hour and then led a counterattack while wounded and out of ammunition. And then afterwards, he went on to become an actor.
He this might be a story, but like when you're buried at Arlington Cemetery, your gravestone, if you are a Congressional Medal of Honor winner, they put gold into your name on your gravestone. His doesn't, because his wife said that she needed the gold and kept it.
I have no idea if that's true.
The tour guide, he's like, the tour guide said it's like the only grave that's there that doesn't have it, and that's the reason why. That's a Medal of Honor winner.
All right.
So I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what our tour guide said.
We let Anthony disconnect and rejoin to see if he gets a better connection.
That's fine.
To see if he can run
Does
the
that
table.
reset his score?
Yeah. Number 10. Originated in Brooklyn, New York.
Pete.
Pete?
Alyssa Milano.
Correct, Pete.
Oh, I was sitting on that one.
I love her.
I met her.
Was it due to her performing many nude scenes in B movies to break her nice girl image?
I don't care. I do it.
Way to cowboy up on that one.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
Anthony left again. Do we wait for Anthony to come back, or do we roll?
You wouldn't wait for me. That's all.
I would too.
Oh, okay.
No, we wouldn't.
Ah!
All right, we'll keep rolling. Oh, Perry's back. Okay, Anthony's back. Number 11.
The last one was originated in Alyssa Milano. That's what I got.
I wish.
Can you hear me now, Anthony, or are we still cutting
I
out?
can hear you fine until you start giving clues, and then they get all jumbled together.
Somebody must be somebody.
I wish I had a scramble button.
Somebody's messing with the plug. Number 11. Originated in Gaffney, South Carolina. Began their career as a magazine model.
Anthony.
Forrest.
Anthony.
Andy
What?
McDowell.
Anthony's correct.
Wait, what did you say?
Anthony was way ahead of you.
Wait, what did you say?
Andy McDowell.
What? No, I
I must
heard,
be lagging.
I heard Annie, but sorry.
No, he said Andy.
Yeah, okay.
Number 12. Originated in Clinton, Massachusetts. Passed away in 1974. An American actress whose career of 6 decades included work in radio, stage, film, and television.
This is all Anthony right here.
Mm-hmm.
While rarely playing lead roles, earned her Primetime Emmy Award. While rarely playing leading roles, she earned Primetime Emmy Awards and 2 Golden Globe Awards, in addition to 4 Academy Award and 6 Emmy Award nominations. Anthony.
Agnes
Yes.
Moorehead.
That's correct, Anthony. Agnes Moorehead.
I live in Moorhead.
Last clue was she's chiefly known as her role of Endora on the television series Bewitched.
Yeah, I wouldn't. You
I
could
think that's an answer.
She's also in the Twilight Zone episode with the
that's an
flying
Anthony.
saucer.
That one is
Totally an
probably
Anthony
the
question.
hardest one on here.
It's like this actress that nobody knows the name of except for Anthony.
It's still 3
Agnes
people
Moorehead.
in. We've got Lance with 4, Anthony with 4, Aldi with 1, and Pete with 3. Number 13. Originated in Drew, Mississippi. Was selected in the MLB draft 4 times.
No.
Was
Lance?
drafted. Lance?
Andrew McCutcheon?
Incorrect.
Damn it.
Was drafted by and played for the Saints for 10 full seasons.
Oh, I'm so dumb. Why didn't I wait for that?
Had 2 Pro Bowl appearances.
Forrest.
Is Forrest?
Archie Manning.
Archie Manning's correct for us.
I would have known it was God. Why? I'm so.
I totally threw that MLB one in there first to screw with people.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I was gonna
MLB
say.
threw me off
As
completely.
you said
Yeah.
Pro Bowl, I got it though.
Yep. And the last clue was father of Peyton and Eli. Number 14. Originated in Dallas, Texas.
Forrest.
Forrest?
Ava Mendez.
Incorrect.
Damn.
Ava Mendez with the E starts with an E.
With an E.
Yeah.
Silent.
Forrest. Jared Leto. Began his career as tech support answering phone calls. Was promoted to level designer and programmer for music and sound effects.
Aldi.
Aldi?
American McGee.
That's correct, Aldi.
That's a question for me.
It was.
Who?
American McGee. Worked for id Software. Was known for the game American McGee's Alice.
Oh
Worked on
yeah.
it. Worked
You
on
worked
for
on
like
it?
for a day.
For a day?
Yeah, no, they needed someone help for like a couple days, and I've worked.
So this is somebody you actually knew, huh? Or knew of, I guess.
Well, I never met him.
Number 15. Originated in White Plains, New York. Drafted in the first round in 1980. 3-time Super Bowl champion and 3 Pro Bowls.
Joe.
Anthony.
Joe.
Aquaman.
Incorrect. Anthony.
Art Monk.
Art Monk is correct, with Anthony getting 5 for the win.
God damn it.
That's it.
I thought it was Aquaman too.
It was the last question, so why not, right? It wasn't account. It wasn't account management.
The last one was the tiebreaker. The tiebreaker originated in London, England.
Aldi.
Alan Moore.
Aquaman.
Wait, we're not playing the tiebreaker?
We'll play the
Alan Moore.
tiebreaker.
Alan Moore.
Yeah, you're supposed to say your name.
Oh, sorry.
What's your guess,
Alan-
Aldi?
Whatever. It was Alan Moore, but
No.
obviously wrong.
Nope.
Ava Mendez.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Alfred Molina.
In Alfred Molina. No.
Lance. Jared Leto.
No.
Aston Martin.
I got more clues. Died in 1956.
Alex Mack.
Incorrect. Served in World War I and World War II.
Adam McKay.
No. Was best known as an author.
Arthur Miller.
Incorrect. And the last clue, creator of a tubby little cubby all stuffed with fluff.
Oh,
I got it.
I know what you're talking about.
A.A. Milne.
Yes.
that's it.
That's it. That was the tiebreaker.
Good job, Anthony.
All right, the
Did
final
you win?
score. Anthony 5.
Originated in Alyssa Milano.
Pete. In his dreams. Good job, Pete, with 3. That was a tight run. We'll have to keep Anthony disconnected more often.
Yes.
All right, you know what it is? That Seth signs in and it takes away bandwidth. Let's see.
Is that what it is?
Turn your bandwidth down. It's probably
All right. No
but
winner.
you're not doing video,
gone.
so I don't know how to save you.
And Maui Chris, good for you for tweeting Kabuki Kid's guess.
How has it
So,
been like
we have a winner?
year and you still don't have a camera?
I know. I'm gonna send you an HP stream, dude. I have like a $200 laptop that can do video.
It's not the laptop; it's the
Oh.
connection with the laptop. It's the combination. I told you we'll do it live at Gen Con.
Ooh.
We're gonna do it live.
So did anybody win?
No, nobody won.
Nobody won.
I don't know if anyone guessed in the chat, but that doesn't count. So
All right.
I had
Well, that's it
myself
for me for the night. I'm going to bed now. So
I want someone else to win because I hate doing it.
Not answer, right?
Yeah, then don't answer.
Don't answer.
yeah, you just don't. He can't. He's too.
I mean, how many of those clues were gotten in the first or second clue? Like so many. Those
Yeah.
are crazy good.
And
You guys
they're
did
all
pretty good with these, though.
Well,
I mean,
there's
even a
a
clue
few
made
that
for me took me
that are
three
like-
clues.
the most random people. I don't have any idea how you could even know who these people are.
So Agnes Moorehead is also, if you've seen the Twilight Zone episode with the lady in the cabin with the flying saucer,
Zone's been off the air for 30 years.
You're
that's
not.
Agnes Moorehead.
40 years.
She was one of Hollywood's first out lesbians.
They don't play those shows anymore, by the way, except for on New Year's Day or something like that. There's like, isn't there like a?
But how did? Where do you put that information? Like, where do you store the information?
I just hold on to it, just
Google.
the same way you.
I want you to be on Jeopardy, dude. You should be on Jeopardy.
The same way you can do, like, figure out how much to spend in 18xx games. This is what I do with my knowledge. I store useless information.
You really should make some money off of that. You should go on Jeopardy.
He would, but they
I
can't
play
see him with the
along.
camera.
I play along and watch it on TV. And the other day, I got every single question right, and I was like, "Damn, maybe I should go on this show."
Maybe.
I
All right, guys.
love
I'm
Yeah,
going
if
to
you get
bed.
every question right, dude, that's amazing.
baby.
Well, if you watch
I'm gonna-
Jeopardy regularly, you'll
am
realize
working
if you
on
want
you.
if you
I'll
want
watch
to feel
it
kind
every
of
day.
smart, watch Monday,
Why Monday?
because the show on Monday is usually the easiest questions, and they get progressively harder throughout the week.
How do they do that?
Yeah, watch
Is it
the
like
show they do
crosswords?
on Monday. It's
Is it like
it's the
crosswords?
easiest questions of
Don't
the
they-
week.
The same person comes back week after week after week, right? Until they lose. Is that right?
Right.
Yeah, they stay on. Winner stays. But they film like
But they
four
do
epi-
five.
episode-
They take
couple
five.
episodes per
They
day.
take 5 shows a day. No, they take 5. They take a week's worth in one day.
5 shows in one day.
And the
Win
first
5 and
show
That's
is
gonna
the
be
easiest
exhausting.
questions.
But it doesn't always fall on a Monday, right? Oh, so whoever wins on Friday could have a very easy Monday for the next taping, right? Like if you win on the Friday show, which is the last show of the day, then
Right.
Monday would be easier. Oh, okay. Didn't know that. I never noticed any difficulty.
Yeah, Monday show's usually the easiest one.
You're like Bill Murray in Groundhog's Day when he's watched the same episode of Jeopardy like a billion times, and he's just
Yeah,
he's eating,
that's the answer
he's
before
eating, he's
the-
eating
before the
popcorn,
question comes out.
drinking Jack Daniels, and while he's still talking about the river in Germany, he just turns and looks at the lady. What is the Rhone?
Ryan.
My favorite thing to do
Yeah.
with Jeopardy is to guess the final question.
I do that. We do that
before
all
they
the
even
time.
do it.
I get like 1 out of
And,
10.
I'll get it right like a couple of times a year. My wife's like, "Shut up."
Yeah, 1 out of 10.
I'm like,
Michelle
Who's
and I are-
Beatrix? Who's
we watch
Beatrix
it.
Potter?
Yeah.
So the final Jeopardy is, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Those are so tough.
Sometimes they're super easy.
There's a reason why they put Wheel of Fortune first, so you can feel smart.
No, Wheel of Fortune.
They run back to back Jeopardies for us here. Do you guys get that back to back? Like
we get Jeopardy and then Wheel of Fortune.
They run the
Jeopardy at
previous
7, Wheel of Fortune 7.
Remember when Wheel of Fortune didn't give you RLSTN and E, and they would pick.
And the people would always
everybody would
pick
just
the
pick
same letter.
RLSTN and E.
Yes, those
People just picked it anyway.
Yeah, so then they just started giving them those, and then pick 2 consonants and a vowel. You know.
So what is your 2 consonants and a vowel choice? Because those should be always be the same too anyway.
All right,
Well,
Peter, we need 5 letters. All right, I take a J, a K, an X, an
I guess
L,
you get to see what's up
another
there
J,
before.
and the Batman symbol.
What was I'm trying to remember now. The 2 other consonants. Do they show you what they've revealed, and
I
then
can't
you
remember.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
do.
think so.
They do. They show you. They show you the R, L, S, T, N, and E, and then they let you look at that, and then you pick the 2 and a vowel.
Yeah.
I mean, the second vowel should almost always be an I or an A, because they're the second most commonly used vowels. But you can look at it and judge. And then I think the other ones are all situational, right? I mean, you're looking at it, and you if you know there's the word bridge in there, you might pick G for one of your vowels, just hoping that you get another G somewhere.
G's not a vowel, but good.
Or it's a consonant. You know what I meant, but you're just making fun of it anyway.
I know we've talked about this before, but Kabuki Kid was saying that, remember Wheel of Fortune, when you had to shop your money, you had to spend all your money.
Yes, and then
they would give him $10,000. You have to spend it on
I'll take the ceramic Dalmatian and put the rest in a gift certificate.
Yeah, put the rest in a gift certificate. To where? I want to know what the gift certificate.
Service merchandise. Was it service merchandise?
Yes, service merchandise.
Got them all.
Do you guys ever shop at a service merchandise store?
I did.
No.
I did.
How much for the fat guy in the circle? That's you, sir. Oh my God, that's embarrassing. But everything that they had that you had to buy was double the regular price you buy it at service merchandise.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take the golf clubs for $9,000.
Yeah,
and you couldn't stop.
I'll take a trip to Maui for $10,000.
That was the thing. You couldn't just say all this. I don't want anything. I can remember when there was
and the camera would pan back and forth.
Yeah,
over the showroom, constantly back and forth.
Well, I just remember there was one that there was some ceramic pig for $85, and this lady was trying to and she had $90 left, and she didn't want the ceramic pig. It's and he's well, he's no, you gotta take it. You gotta take the pig. Okay, I guess I'll take the ceramic pig.
Did they really get those prizes, I wonder, or they just give them cash?
I don't know.
At the end.
I mean, like I said,
because it was all sponsors, right? All that stuff was sponsors.
Look at this studio filled with fabulous prizes, just waiting to be won.
When my brother won his thing on whatchamadig on, I can't even think. Drew Carey, you hosted Price is Right.
Price is Right.
When he won his 2 things before he left on before he went to Peace Corps, it was an outdoor pizza oven and a soda machine or something, and both of them were worth over $2,000. And the thing is that both of those basically the companies to be on that show, they had to get deliver those items to him within I think it was 180 days. They had 180 days to get both of them to him. And because he lived in Fargo, North Dakota, the shipping on the pizza oven people, they cut him a check for the amount of it within a week. They're no, we're not gonna freight deliver. We're not gonna not only give you one of these things, but also pay $900 to have this freight delivered to your door. But the other ones, they waited 178 days before they cut him a check. They waited to the last possible moment to give him his cash. But yeah. So yeah, I do remember one time watching The Price is Right when Bob Barker was on, and some old lady won an outdoor spa or something like that, and she is asking for her bid. She's I can't use this, and they're what? I can't use this. I live in an apartment. I can't use this. And they're like, well, still need a bid. And then she bids, and then she won it.
She won both.
Well, yeah, she got up there, and she was, and like she had to do like her contest, but she was like kept on telling Bob, like you know, it's like I can't win that first prize, I can't use it, and she just kept on saying like, and so then she did the contest, and then she
have you heard of eBay?
Yeah, then she won the contest, right? And then he's like, oh well, congratulations. She's like, you're not listening to me. She said, I can't win. And they're like, well, I'm sure we'll think of something. As he's like shoving this old lady off the stage.
My parents were on Let's Make a Deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did they find like a toothbrush in their purse and they got $50 or something?
Kind of a blender or something.
Well, that's the old. That's the old. Let's Make a Deal. Let's pick a door and then they show it. Now, do you switch? Yeah, you know that mathematics thing, right? Yeah, you always switch. Joe, you'll like this, Joe. If you're given 3 doors. And Let's Make a Deal was. Are you familiar with Let's Make a Deal?
No, I'm not familiar with any game show.
Okay, so the game show was you had 3. Like normally there was
1 of 3 doors.
There's like pick door number 1, 2, or 3, and so like you pick.
That's not a game.
Just could you let me talk, Joe? And besides trying to like be pedantic like you always do.
It's not a game.
Stop being you for like 30 seconds. Let me tell you this story. So they have like you pick door number 3, and then what they would do is they'd say, well, let's see what you could have won behind door number 1, and they show like something bad, you know, like they'd show like because there was like one good door to pick, and then there were 2 bad ones, and so they'd open it up and there's a goat like chewing on
a donkey.
There was a zonk.
Yeah,
there was a zonk, and there was a medium like $100 or $500 prize, and there was like a car.
But anyway, but they would never show like if you picked the medium or the zonk or whatever, they would never show you like, oh, you could have won the car, right? Yeah. So you always are the impression that you could possibly win the big prize, right? So then they'd say, do you want? So you pick door number 1. I'll show you number 3. Do you want to switch to door number 2 now? And mathematically speaking, you should always switch every single time. You'll win more often playing that if you switch to number 2. And everybody's like, that doesn't make sense. No, because what if I picked the one I picked? And they're like, no, because the first one is a choice between 1 out of 3. The second one is a choice out of 1 out of 2. You've already improved your chances of winning by like whatever it is, 17%. But if you stay with what you have, you're still sticking with that 1 out of 3. So you should always switch. And the thing is that you can actually show it to yourself if you take a deck of cards and take an ace and then take like 2 other cards, and the ace always wins. Shuffle them up
and run it 10,000 times
and run it, and you'll see the percentage does mark out that it does.
I see what you're saying, but if you still stuck with your first one, wouldn't you be picking that one though out of the 2?
You'd think that, but you aren't. You aren't because you're still
it's a non-intuitive.
It's a non-intuitive thing.
Statistics calculation.
It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense to humans.
Well, it's like the classic thing, and this is something that
because you think you have a 2/3 chance of winning instead of a 50-50 chance, right?
Yeah,
because you already. It's not true.
Well, so here's the so say, and I realize this was on MythBusters, but this was one that people have argued about a lot. So if you have a plane on a conveyor belt, and the conveyor belt moves backwards at the exact same speed that the plane moves forwards, does the plane take off?
What?
Okay, so you're a plane, but instead of being on a runway, you're a plane, right? Mm-hmm. And like, okay, then you start up the propellers because it's a great thought experiment.
Are you just basically coming up with?
No, this is real. Okay, think about this. Think about this for a second. So you have a plane. It could be a jet plane. It could be a biplane. It could be a whatever. And you start the propellers, and it starts moving forward. But instead of moving forward, there's a treadmill underneath it that goes in the opposite direction. So like as no matter how fast the plane is going forward, the wheels basically will move, but it stays in the exact same place. So even though the propellers and it just keeps going faster and faster, does the plane take off?
No.
It does.
Does it?
And I argued no for the longest time until.
No.
I would think no, because there's no air.
But here's the deal. Here's the deal.
How does it take off?
It's a weird thought experiment because of the fact that like you have to. So if you think of a car, right? If you think of a car driving on a treadmill, the same thing. The wheels are actually what propels the car forward. They're the actual like mechanism that causes the car to move. The wheels on a plane aren't actually the mechanism in any way that causes the plane to move forward. The plane is moving forward because the propellers are moving, because the jet engine, the turbines are going forward, and that's even tough because you keep thinking about the aerodynamics of the wings and everything like that. But the best way to describe it, somebody described it, and it actually made sense then. Okay, Robert, if I put you, if I gave you a pair of rollerblades, and I gave you a hunk of rope, and then I took that rope and then I tied it to the wall in front of you, and then I started the treadmill going backwards, and your wheel, and so you're just sitting there, right? If you started pulling yourself forward on the rope, you'd pull yourself forward.
Right.
It's the exact same thing as the plane. Because the propulsion isn't your wheels whatsoever. It's you pulling yourself. I know.
What I'm not understanding is how we're getting lift.
Because
I understand the forward.
You're getting the lift because the wheels moving on the treadmill have nothing to do with the plane actually taking off.
Right, I know that part.
So the propellers are going to, because what makes the plane go forward has nothing to do with the wheels. The treadmill could be going 1,000,000 miles backwards, and basically, and then if the plane was on it, it would still take off because the treadmill has no effect on the actual plane's ability to move forward. I know it.
I need to see this.
If you pull up MythBusters, you can actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see this happen.
Where they actually pulled it off, but it's a weird thought experiment that is tough to wrap your mind around.
Yeah, they proved it on MythBusters.
Yeah.
But whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta go, guys. I am working on a new feature for Board Game Geek. Hopefully out next week.
Oh, what is the new feature? Can we get?
I think I've talked about this before.
It's an all internal back end thing that you won't see at all, but it's pretty cool.
It's an easier way to ban people.
Oh yeah.
Believe me, that's easy. It's called Octavian. That's an easier way. No, it's a proper convention tool. So we'll be able to make want lists and what games you want to check out.
What are we doing? What are we doing at the old BGG Con this year, my friend? What's the hubbub? What's the excitement? What's new?
Aren't we coming up to Gen Con?
Oh, I know, but you don't have any say over that. What's new and exciting that's going on with the BGG Con this year?
What's new and exciting? Well, I guess it will be dictated by the awesomeness of the games that come out.
Are you gonna
Are
you gonna once again find a way to cheat me out of my win of the game show and the Spiel game show?
The Spiel game show.
The Spiel. They have the Spiel. The podcast guys. They have that game show thing where we go and.
No, that was Rich Summer. They believe. Oh, did you not play last year?
I did play last year, and I got jammed.
It was all these like mini games that you had to win. It wasn't trivia.
There's a wonderful picture of him dancing behind as I'm like on the floor.
As long as Rich will be playing Sticky Sticks or whatever that stupid game is, he will win all.
That was the biggest cheap thing ever.
Yeah, and he chose it too.
He knew.
He's good at it. Yeah. I played a random game. I played a game that was based on pure luck.
So,
but whatever.
The theory behind the plane taking off.
New feature coming on Monday. I sort of said what it was, but you didn't hear me, so maybe I'll be surprised.
No, a better way to run a convention. What's the better way to run a convention? I'll say this. That Heather Mann, she runs a tight convention. She does a very good job at Dice Tower Con. Oh, she runs Dice Tower Con, and I have never.
I thought that was Havertz.
Well, yeah, but she's kind of in charge of the whole thing. I have never been like if you had a problem or any questions.
So what are you trying to say?
No, I'm just saying she had an answer. You know what? I'd like to mention this, Scott. Okay. So I wish I was pretty good convention too. I was gonna take pictures, and I should have shown it, but the lounge, if you will, for exhibitors, it was like cold cut sandwiches.
Hey, if the hotel would let me bring food in, I would totally.
Hey, let me. Can I?
Yeah. I guarantee you, they did not pay $5 a Coke can.
So plentiful sodas.
Yeah,
we delivered food to the exhibit.
Yeah. Juices of several different flavors. Fresh fruit, like apples, oranges, bananas. They had little.
I guarantee you, they did not go through the hotel catering.
They had.
We did actually.
They did. It was hotel catering. Orlando is much cheaper.
Catering.
They paid $5 a Coke.
They had a dried fruit mix.
They charged us $5 a Coke at BGG Con.
That was amazing.
I can't afford that. They went through 1,000 Cokes.
Sucks. I can't believe they could charge that much. I feel
okay.
bad.
All right. Just so everyone's aware of this, yes, it went through hotel catering, and a lot of that is because the deal with the hotel is there's a budget that has to be done in food, and they counted that towards that.
Okay.
So we were willing to spend a ridiculous amount on it because it went towards the food concession we had to make.
Right.
So.
Well, I'm just saying is
we spent $50,000 in Coke last year, but it was free.
How much did it cost to fly Lance in? Aldi. He's complaining about snacks.
You know what?
No,
it didn't cost him. I didn't cost him a penny last year. Actually, I was.
You were a special guest 2 years ago.
I was part of a group that paid Scott Alden for the privilege of being in attendance.
He was a special guest 2 years ago.
Yes.
Out of curiosity, though, if anybody's
for Tasty Minstrel,
I actually think I might be able to go to BGG Con this year with how my Kickstarter's doing.
No, nobody asks.
No, I was just talking about if there's room on somebody's floor. I'd be interested in paying for that room on the floor.
If you know a bus stop that's available, whatever Forrest is there for you.
Forrest, I might actually have a spot for you.
If Dice Tower Con could afford a $50,000 food budget, how do you make money on a con? Like that to me doesn't. I don't know how you do that.
Well, maybe they don't use it
to kind of comparing apples to oranges.
Maybe they don't use a crooked hotel that charges $5 for a can of soda.
I know, it's unreal, right?
I mean, that's
how
not
is
even
possible.
I mean,
that's like highway robbery.
That's mini bar prices that you're being charged for.
You're in a hotel in an airport, so you're doubly screwed.
Yeah. No,
it's a business hotel. I don't suspect. What was the name of that hotel?
Well, I for one thought.
Yeah, I mean, is it a business hotel? Maybe.
No, it's a resort.
It's not the same.
It's a resort hotel.
Maybe they have better rates and stuff.
Let the record show that our choices of normal and pink lemonade at the temperature of room was
got anything, dude.
Was just satisfying.
That's awesome.
Wow.
If you would like to cancel your booth, Lance, I have a waiting list of about 40 publishers. If you would like, if the accommodations are not up to your
see, Aldi, you weren't here earlier when we found out that Lance is the genital giant.
Yeah.
Genital giant.
Somebody tried to post. Somebody posted Patrick Siebert posted a Facebook. He's like all the people that he hung out with and had fun with, and he must not have checked his autocorrect because it said Lance, the genital giant.
I'm not convinced that was a typo.
I'm pretty sure he did it on purpose. If it's Patrick,
it was Patrick.
Is there any chance we will have a better selection than
lemonades
and like pink? Yeah, of lemonades. Can I get a third version of lemonade at the temperature of room?
I'm sure Aldi will give you something that looks lemonade-like. It might be warm.
Lemonade.
I just remember the best part was it was like I walked in there and I was looking. I was like, really? And then and I watched Shane Myerscough of Grievances Games comes in. And he was like, he wanders over and he's just like, and he was like, I watched this, he was looking, you can tell he was looking for the soda and he couldn't find it. And he was like, and he poured himself a cup of the pink lemonade, took one sip and threw it out. And he grabbed a bag of pretzels.
Was this last year?
This is last year. Okay. He grabbed a bag of pretzels. And he's like, This is shit.
We're leaving the hotel. We're leaving that hotel, so I assume that's probably why we got the shaft treatment this year.
Well, here's hope.
Yeah.
You know, and in all
They
honesty,
don't roll out the red carpet when you're leaving.
in all honesty, Scott, you know that the BGG Con is a blast, right? And
Thanks.
And it is a lot of fun, and it is like the convention I look forward to every year, because not only is it a fun convention, but it also is like it's that like I realize that I don't have any weird like convention stuff happening for quite a long time, and it's just like I'm actually going to be home like all month and spending time with my family. Basically, you don't have anything until Gamma. You know, at that point.
No, you're gonna have tabletop next year. I mean, assuming you go to both.
Tabletop? What do you mean?
December.
What's Tabletop has a convention
tabletop,
now?
Whatever, PAX, Tabletop, PAX Unplugged.
Oh, PAX Unplugged is going to be December next year.
Oh, they realize they can't miss
the final con anymore.
So
the reason they didn't mean to combat. The only weekend that was available at the convention center this year was the same one.
Well, then the cease and desist that was sent with your
take their millions of dollars, both sides, and let's throw them on the table and see who wins.
Your black-hearted, sharks of lawyers like circling, waiting for a drop of blood.
I would have liked to work something out with them. They did not communicate to us anything. So they said we're doing a convention. That's all I heard. Didn't know anything.
Well,
else.
you showed them who's boss though.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll all be great because it's wonderful tabletop world. Everything's awesome.
It is. Well, actually,
John Moore is going to PAX Unplugged.
John Moore.
John Moore.
John Moore.
No, he goes to Essen. I see him there. Well, I don't actually know if he still goes. But
does he walk up and hit you with a band hammer when he sees you?
Honestly, I think that is all behind us in the past, right? I mean, he's still doing his business without a BGG. So
fair enough.
It seems like it's a waiting list to get into this top secret to buy the chance to buy $150 worth of cards.
Well, and kudos to him for having.
I have no hard feelings.
But I mean, seriously though, that's like one of those things where it's like, oh, you can get in on this like really weird train game that. I don't know. It's almost just a weird status symbol to own.
I'm actually surprised it's only 250 people. I mean, imagine the way the growth of the hobby has. It's like imagine he could take 1,000 people.
Well, it's like what Pete said. He probably just doesn't really want to make a bunch of money, like he had with those little lithographs or whatever.
How much work do you want to do? If you do enough work to sell $150 a game, it's to 200 people.
Okay. I mean, look at the fact that the Crusaders Kickstarter that we're running right now. No, seriously. I don't want to segue a bit to that, but I mean, there's like all these different options that we could use for like different stretch goals. And one of the things that we have to think about is that how annoying is it going to be logistically to try to get this to 4,000 people or whatever many backers. I mean, it isn't just plug in the numbers and say, okay, well, if we get this much money, then we can give them this thing. It's also like, well, how annoying is that going to be? What is it going to add to all this like extra time or whatever? So, John Bohr is probably
a certain number of people you're limiting the game to.
Well, no, not at all. But I mean, it's just like it's one of those things where it's like John Bohr probably says, well, I could probably open it up and get like 500 more people. Let's just throw out a number, but for every added person that you add, it's like that. It's one more person you got to make sure that gets that game, and it's one more person that you have to send.
Absolutely, there's a cost. Yeah, there's a cost over
because they're literally cardboard and.
But you have another person to deal with, right?
Construction paper.
Well, okay, so like one of the things, and I was actually kind of happy about this, and I hesitate to mention this, but I sent out so the fulfillment for Yokohama and Coliseum to Australia and New Zealand it's been a big issue for us. Like we made a few mistakes as far as how we wanted to go about doing the fulfillment. I shouldn't say mistakes. I mean, it's one of those things where we did not make optimal choices or whatever. And so basically, just now, like they're going to start shipped out for Australia and New Zealand. Like as far as like they're finally in that area. It took a long time for the games to get there, just for whatever reason. I'm not going to go into the long story. So I posted an update, a very much needed update on the Kickstarter page, and just said, here's the deal. We take accountability for this. We apologize for this. Just basically there was no ifs, ands, or buts. But I did clear up one thing. A lot of people said, because it was one of those things where the Coliseum shipment was like sitting like basically on the docks waiting to get loaded into a boat, and Yokohama was coming in a week. And so we just said, you know what, just wait and put them both on the same ship. Put them both, optimize it kind of thing. They charged us the exact same amount of money. It wasn't something where it's like we went to Cool Stuff and we got over $100 and we got free shipping. I mean, they charged us the exact same amount of money whether we had told them to wait for one or the other. But basically, people have just accused TMG. It's like, oh, you just wanted to you didn't care about us. You had our money and you just wanted to save X amount of money. And I just basically said, I mean, and so I just said,
makes the games cheaper overall.
Well, I just said, it's like we didn't save any money by doing it. We just said it was just one of those things where it was like a more simple way for us to do it, like keep track of where the games were. And so I said, no, and I basically said, I guess, yes, in a way, because it was simplified, you could say, well, that has some sort of intrinsic value, which
if less things go wrong, the easier it is for you to run a business.
Exactly. And and I said, I'll give it that. But I mean, it wasn't like a thing where it was like, oh, hey, if you combine these two, you could save 10 grand. Is that okay? There was nothing like that at all. And so I wrote what I thought was a very well-reasoned, like, one,
that's your first mistake.
Taking complete and total accountability and saying, hey, we made the mistakes. We're learning. We're trying to do better, so on and so forth. And then I said something like, but here, I want to explain that this is not what was going on. We did not like try to save money at the expense of you waiting for the game. But instead, people are just like posting, well, I want to know what these big mistakes you made. Well, you know what? I'm not going to go into every single
we
moment.
Let people from Australia buy the game.
People wonder why.
I did not say that. I did not say that. But I mean,
people wonder why companies aren't so communicative to their customers.
Like this is the thing.
Parsing of every little detail that you wrote is now in someone's brain, and they can pick it apart and find out every nook and cranny issue that you made. Right?
This is the things they don't understand. Let's leave our friends down under out of this. There's Italy and Brazil are the two worst places in the world to ship anything. Okay, and the people who live in Italy and Brazil know this. But as soon as you put on your Kickstarter that we will not ship to Italy or Brazil, somebody from that country has to pipe up and complain about it. Like, how bad it is. Someone today posted a picture on Facebook of a package they got. They finally got their Medici Kickstarter. It finally got delivered to them. When was that fulfilled?
Last year.
Okay, so the Postal Service in Brazil finally delivered. Yeah, they finally delivered it to the guy, and it looked like they kicked it all the way from China to Brazil. This box was so friggin' smashed. It was like literally accordioned,
right,
on both sides, top to bottom. And luckily, they packed it really well. They knew it was going to Brazil. And it made it without damaging the package itself. But I'm like, your country sucks at these things. So if someone says, "Hey, I'm not even gonna take your money and have you wait for 2 years to get your beat up package, and then it gets lost or you never get it," I'm just forget. We'll do each other a favor. We're not sending it to you.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't ship to Brazil next time we ran every single game we sent to Brazil got lost, so we had to send it again. And I think the second time
I work for a company that we send money to people in Brazil every single day, and I write more letters to banks in Brazil telling people give the person their freaking money, because they'll just hold on to it, and they'll say, "Oh, we didn't get it. We didn't get a wire." I'm like, I have the wire detail right here. I know you got it. And I have to, then they're like, oh, we need to know why you're sending them money because you could be like, doing some sort of drug deal, and I have to write letters to them explaining to them why this person is getting money from my company, and it's like the most ridiculous bullshit in the world. And it takes you wire money internationally, normally 48 hours tops. Yeah. That person has their money. We're talking like literally months. Sometimes with Brazil and other places in South America.
I guess it's just a corruption. So, are you in charge of the Kickstarter customer service now, Lance? Is that your new?
Well, I mean, it's just that's when we run a Kickstarter, that's kind of like my job. I just kind of take it over and I write the updates. I try to interact with the people. I try to, even when I'm not available.
They wanted me to do it, but I auditioned and said, "We're not going to let you back if you're in Australia."
You would take shit.
Calm the freak
that's customer
down.
Service. Eat shit and like it, basically. I mean, that's what it is.
I get a lot of positive responses from people too, but I just the thing that just drives me crazy. It's like, and I get it. You gave us money for Yokohama a long time ago, and your patience has long since run out. But there isn't a company in the world where if you said, I want to know exactly what these decisions were that made me wait for this long. There isn't a company in the world say, "Oh, let me open our doors to our meeting minutes over the last year and a half, and you can pore over these details." And it's just, look, we screwed up. You're going to get your game finally. We apologize. But
all right, I've got a topic I'd like to discuss before I go to bed tonight.
Sure,
please.
All right,
I might leave, but.
All right, who's going to die next in Game of Thrones?
Oh, man.
Oh, Pete.
Good one, Pete. Yeah, I don't know. When are you going to run another Kickstarter Aldi?
What?
Well, you ran a Kickstarter once. When are you going to run another one?
No, we're done. We're done with the game publishing. Although we're publishing one other game, but it's like we can't get the printer to make the card stock we want. And it's been a year.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Luckily, there's nobody waiting for the game, so we don't have to worry about it.
What game?
It's called Draugr.
Draugr, like the undead Vikings.
Draugr. Draugr.
Yeah, the undead Vikings.
Is that what that means? I didn't know that. I knew it was an undead type per thing. It's a solo game. Yeah, I mean, I think the amount of work for the amount of reward is not equivalent to what we want to do. Because we were having, we have a fulfillment system that can run small games, right?
Is this the solitaire game?
Yeah, it's a solitaire game.
Okay.
Does it actually have the artwork up there? It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's public domain artwork, and I guess the only person waiting for it is the designer, right? Like it would be nice to have it done, but I don't know when it will be done. Yeah. So now we're done with the game publishing shit.
Wow.
Unless something falls in my lap that's like, oh my god, the best game ever. Can we print it and ship it in a small envelope? Then no, won't be doing any more games. It was just so much work. As you know, you run a company, you're a part of a big company, and we thought, okay, well, we can print 20 card micro games and ship them out with our shipping system. That would be easy, but it's not.
I played a really weird game. Tom showed it to me. Called Tifa Tashin. It's like it's good.
Yeah, it's the lunch delivery thing in India.
No.
Oh, that's Tiffin. That's horrible.
Oh, that's different.
Tifa Tashin is a game where each person is a corrupt politician, and you're trying to line your pockets with as much cash as possible before the game ends. Yeah, but it's different. It's
but like that.
Very good.
Politician thing. Okay, cool.
Very fun. Made by some really. No, I think Arcane Wonders is looking at it actually.
Yeah.
You'd have to retheme it. and reskin it. But
How do you spell it?
TIEFE, like and TASCHEN.
Oh, I've seen this. This came out last year.
Yeah.
I begged this guy to get us a copy. I think we got one or two for the library, but yeah, it looked cool when I saw the demo. So it's pretty fun.
4 to 8 players.
Yep.
Have you played the Sidereal Conflict or whatever?
I played it twice. It's fun. Okay. And I played Downforce.
Wait,
and
Pete
that
left.
was a lot of fun.
Real. I thought Pete had a thing, and was that just a joke?
Yeah,
that was his goodnight.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
Joke.
I missed that part.
Seth, are you with us?
I'm gonna go too. Keep talking. I'll watch you guys on YouTube.
Good night, Seth.
See you guys. Great talking.
Good night, Scott.
Hopefully nobody dies that we love.
Mm.
Game of Thrones. Oh my! Bye.
Who dies first in Alaboom?
Where's Seth?
He's muted.
He's muted. Yeah.
He probably left the phone in the car. Oh, there he is.
I did forget it was muted though.
Oh, that's okay. So, hey, before you leave, I have to talk to you, but it's an off-air conversation. But just remember that. I have to talk off-air with you.
Okay.
RE:, Kickstarter running right now.
Yeah.
There's a colon running on Kickstarter right now.
You know what I mean.
Wait, you guys have a Kickstarter running right now?
Yeah. We are at 129,576. We are about ready to hit 130K.
What's your percentage, though? Like, what percentage are you over?
What difference does that make?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm way over my percentage.
I don't know. I always thought percentage over funding was a ridiculous metric, and people who cheer themselves on for having 1,000% overfunded.
Yeah, for something that
stuff to
Forrest,
take that. It's completely arbitrary.
I'm only asking for $400, so my percentage is bullshit anyway.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the achievement or the funding achievement is arbitrary. You can just pick whatever number you want. So, woohoo! If you pick a low number and you get overfunded, you back.
Think of all the weed you could buy with that money.
I'm going to Germany with that.
You're gonna go to Essen?
Better believe it. $350 away from going to Essen.
You're gonna bring your wife?
Hell no. We can't afford that.
But you're gonna go to Essen.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Essen. Gonna do the Essen Bonanza. Hopefully, make it a yearly thing.
Oh, good for you, man. I'm happy for you.
Fake it till you make it.
No. You've now unlocked plastic building minis. You'll get bitched at for plastic tomorrow.
Oh no, we already are.
We've been being complained about that.
I know.
From the outset.
You're only $312 away.
That's how it always goes. Everyone says, "Oh, I like wood better," until they actually see the plastics, and they say, "Oh, wait, we like plastics better." One guy he posted like 4 times in an hour how he didn't want to see the plastics and he thought the wood was better, and then he saw the picture of the plastic and he said, "Oh, you know what? I'm coming around."
Oh, did your number just drop?
Oh, about that one guy. Sorry, that one guy.
Was he from Australia?
I thought you were. Yeah.
No, nobody from Australia is probably backing us because of that's not true. They probably are. I've seen some a thread or two on BGG where there's a person or two from Australia who's still griping about the. I don't know. Have people still not received their stuff in Australia? What's going on with that?
Oh yeah. They and see, that's one of the things that's frustrating for me since I don't live in Utah. It's very tough for me to know exactly what's going on. But I get, oh, where's this stuff? And I'm like, okay. And then you ask, and it's just like, yeah, I wish there was something where I could just look at it and just know, you know. But that's something we're working on. We're working on having the having it work better, if you will.
Should just relocate you to Australia.
There you
go.
Problem solved.
You know, but back before I was actually planning, this is like a long time ago, like dumb decisions I could have made when I was younger. Like me and another guy, we had this plan where like neither of us were going anywhere with our lives and just kind of just working 18 jobs. And we were like, what if we got just enough money to like travel to Australia, and then because I used to mountain bike all the time, we could just go mountain biking through Australia and just work odd jobs. We were like actually seriously considering that. And I'm like, oh, thank the Lord I never did that. You know, just like that just sounds like a horrendously bad idea now. But yeah, just one of those things.
They're like 12 deadliest snakes in the world, and 11 of them live in Australia.
Yeah.
I mean, just going outside my front door sounds like a bad idea to me. So,
the saltwater crocodiles, the great white sharks. Yeah, there's just
the wiggles. They're all there. They'll all kill you.
Wiggles.
Well, no, I mean, and I understand. I mean, I don't. I mean, somebody's gonna listen to this and they're gonna say, "Oh, Lance said screw Australia." I'm not saying that at all.
No, I said screw Australia.
Yeah, Lance said fuck the Kiwis.
I never said that by any means.
No, he meant the fruit though. Because that's the right size, right, Lance?
It makes me feel small.
You are a genital midget, sir.
I do like that Collectoibles on Amazon is selling copies of Crusaders Thy Will Be Done for $60 plus $16 shipping, but they'll have it for you by December 4th through the 6th.
Dude, I saw that. I saw that earlier, and I saw an eBay listing for it too.
Yeah, in stock on November 30th, 2017.
Yeah, I saw the Amazon and the eBay listings for it today.
I was like, "Are you fucking?"
Like, what's going on?
Some guy's got the inside track.
I want to know who these people are that pre-order things via eBay.
Well, that's the thing. eBay won't let you do it anymore.
They have been.
But you have to. It has to be. So, like, if something's coming out like August 1st, you can do a pre-order now for it. It's got to be delivered within a certain number of days. Otherwise, you can no longer do pre-orders. Because that's what happened to Portal when they did the pre-order for.
Oh yeah, he got shafted.
Yeah, eBay basically held his money. And it happened to a couple of Kickstarter people too. That took, after the Kickstarter ended, they took orders, the late pledge things, and they held all the money for that too. Because their rule is you can do pre-orders, but you have to deliver within, I think it's 90 days.
Huh. Well, because there are pre-sales right now for Crusaders on eBay.
Then when did it say delivered by?
And how much are they charging?
This is a pre-sale, and it doesn't say when it's going to be delivered.
Okay.
And they're charging $40.94 plus shipping.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I should go get back to that one then.
Yeah, clearly I'm on the wrong
literally nobody can get it that cheap except maybe TMG.
I paid $75 for mine. Jeez.
Lance, is that you?
What now? I'm sorry.
I was wondering if that was your listing, Lance, because nobody can get it that cheap except maybe TMG people.
That Amazon listing?
B-Raps Magic.
No, he said on eBay or something. Someone's selling. Do you say they're selling Crusaders? I will be done.
I'm putting a link in the chat to the.
I'm gonna sell your
$40.94. Buy it now.
To buy it now too. Yeah.
You have 30 days to return it.
Yep.
My wife was
6
totally
available. There's only 6 available.
And wait, you know how they're getting away? They have it listed as used.
But then they immediately say to disregard the condition listed as it may be an error. This item is brand new, but there is a sync error because my listing tool. I
don't understand why that would be there. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. That's why I was confused, because there it is.
If for any reason there's delay past 30 days, you will be given the option of canceling it at that time.
But based on the rest of it, he's referring to 30 days past the release date.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. I mean, but this person did the same thing with Yokohama.
He's got 71,000 ratings here.
Yeah. Huh.
Okay. Hold on.
Oh well. What are you gonna do?
Well, at least I know where I'm buying my copy.
And reported.
Sorry, what did you expect with the Kickstarter? Did you expect us to do this well, Seth?
So this is what I've been saying all day. As a deluxe Kickstarter, I thought it would do pretty well. Eventually, because we've been doing really well with the deluxe Kickstarters, you know, Orleans and Yokohama and stuff. However, I did not expect it to outperform Yokohama in the first day, because Yokohama had come out and people had actually played it and had some buzz, and I would wager that Hisashi Hayashi's name is a little bigger than mine. So I didn't. I mean, while we are building on the success of the previous ones, I didn't expect that, because I think that Yokohama had more going for it going in. So I was very pleasantly surprised to see that happen. And if this, you know, keeps on, and if we end up, so we had a better first day than Yokohama, and I don't remember. I think we're at what Mike said. If we had
a better second day as well. We had a better second day.
That's great.
Well, I think Robert,
so that keeps up.
Probably because the reviewers you chose. I mean, I think that's definitely the key.
Yeah, we need more reviewers to say that the board looks like crap or the theme is not there. Then we'll have.
I stick by that.
I didn't say it.
Oh,
that's fine.
I just got a Twitter notification. I just backed Crusaders thanks to the video from me, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna apologize to this person. No, just kidding.
Anyway, that's what I was saying. Is I knew it would do all right, you know, pretty well, as our deluxes have been doing. I did not think it would outperform Yokohama, and I'm happy that it has, and it's really exciting. And now we're in the middle of the whole stretch goal mire, where everybody wants everything, and everyone has suggestions, and now we have to figure out what we're going to do for the stretch goals, and invariably
not solo mode.
Why does everybody want a solo mode for a game that is built on?
Well, there are a lot of solo players, and that's fine. And I usually leave that to the forums. There were some people suggesting that as an idea, but I don't play solo games. It's not really my thing. I don't think about solo games when I design. I don't know that I could design a good solo mode. So that's why I posted on social media. Anyone want to make a solo mode? Feel free.
Somebody not named me. Okay, named me may have mentioned it in his review.
That also may have happened. Anyway, I
have a request. My game group is 12 people. Can you make it play up to 12?
It does, actually. I've got that covered. You just got to buy 3 copies.
Yeah.
All the pieces will be the same colors.
Have a jar of paint.
You have to have 3 tables too.
I would paint them, but someone has not sent me my paint yet.
No, and then like today we got our first. How about an expansion?
Well, that always happens too. You're not gonna. I mean, you got to expect. You learn to expect certain comments, and you'll see them.
For the game you haven't played.
I completely expected. What?
Well, just an
so you haven't played it exactly.
For an expansion, for a game you haven't played.
I've always kind of crapped up, but also died a little inside every time anyone says, without having played a game, it looks like it hasn't got replayability. They said it a lot for Eminent Domain. I've played like 500 games of Eminent Domain, so either I'm an idiot or it has replayability.
Why are they mutually exclusive?
It's true. It could be a little bit of both. But anyway,
can we get a jab promo as a stretch goal?
A jab promo? Sweet. Yeah, let's get people interested in that.
Back on this solo thing. I may have already been tinkering around with some solo stuff on it.
Well, I've actually had a couple people offer, except I don't necessarily want to hire someone to design one. If they, because I'm happy to leave it to the VGG forums, and I'm sure
exactly
interested, they'll do it. But if anyone's interested in doing it now during the thing, and if we like it, we can add it.
Hey, Gavin.
I don't want to hire someone to do that.
Gavin Brown had to start somewhere. It's good enough that it's pretty cool that he started with Jab. So,
yeah,
thing with that. If it wasn't for Jab, Brass Lancashire or whatever wouldn't.
Maybe, yeah.
Mm.
He also did the graphic design and art for Eminent Domain.
Mm-hmm. So
there you go.
Yeah. All hail Jab.
How about a wooden board?
You're getting a wooden board. That is to say, it's cardboard, which is like pieces of wood, little ones.
Like hand carved by master craftsmen.
I
cool.
do think that
That would be pretty pimp.
having that like a sword as the first player marker. I know somebody suggested that.
I suggested that. I think that would be pretty cool. Somebody suggested a first player marker, and it had come up before. That reminded me, and I was like, "What would be a cool first player marker? How about a sword? Because Crusaders are like swordy, and it could be metal like the coins." And I think that would be fantastic.
Cool.
I don't know if that's we have to get quotes on these things, and I don't know if it's how much more can it be to do one more metal piece, you know?
Well, but how big is it?
And
can somebody kill themselves with it? I guess is another thing. Anyway.
If the sword, well, we're not talking the actual sword, Lance. Come on. If you, if they make the sword right and it kind of spins or whatever on like the hilt, you could have it be a first player chooser too.
Oh, that would be kind of cool, actually.
So I'm actually kind of excited about that idea. I think that's a good idea. I can't imagine it costs that much. I'm trying to think of things that are low cost but high value. You know what I mean? Like we could make every box out of solid gold. That would cost a crap ton and not be that worth it, right? That's like a bad stretch goal.
Well, the shipping on it would be ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel like you don't want to spend a lot of money and on the item and then on shipping in order to make that like the cost per value ratio isn't very good. So I'd much rather try to find things that are lower cost, higher value.
The way we handle our shipping is really like because of the fact that we send it in a box within a box within a box.
People really like that. I think it's a huge waste, but
people like it, but also people hate it
pristine boxes
because it's tough to in the end
it's ship two at a time.
Yeah, that's what they don't like. Because it's like, I want to order another copy. Yeah, well, just take the price that you paid for the first one, double it.
Well, I understand they're that's an obvious thing for people to say is, hey, can I save money if I get more than one? Which is a reasonable thing to ask. And when they can't, they're sad. But then, if we made it so you could, they'd be sad when they got a dented box, and they'd ask. Actually, they wouldn't necessarily be sad because we'd replace it. It would just end up. It's sad that we have to package everyone like it's some precious, fragile thing, which is 90% unnecessary. But it actually costs less to do that than replace boxes, these heavy boxes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, people like the pristineness or whatever, the packaging. It's like a added perceived value, and it's kind of too bad because it's just wasteful. I wish that money could go to something better. I wish that money could go to upgrading the game, or save the money on the. What if it costs less? Too bad it can't cost less, and people not expect the super duper shipping packaging or whatever. But it's like you can't win. Sometimes you can't win. You either have to pay a lot to ship it to all special, and then you still get complaints that you can't combine them, or you save money, or you let other people save money by combining shipping and stuff like that, and then they complain that they've got dented boxes and stuff. So, or worse, you get some that are literally like smashed, and no one can use it, so you have to replace those. So it's just kind of a catch-22. And then stretch goals are always a catch-22 because you've got people, you can't please everyone, and if you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one or whatever. So whenever you try to please as many people as you can, you run into issues with trying to placate certain people by doing something, and that pisses off another group of people, and the ones that are the most vocal aren't necessarily the biggest group, and you gotta you say, oh, these people are vocal, so we'll do something that makes them happy, and then it pisses off a larger, not so vocal group, and then they become vocal.
Always a bad idea to listen to the most vocal.
Well, yes and no. Ideally, you want to listen to all your backers and take into account their desires, but then again, you can't, like you said, you can't please everyone, so you can't just literally do what everyone asks because it's just not going to work.
Oh, hey, the number went up.
What about like the thing, the longer thing, griping things? So we figure out the shipping for the different areas of the world, what we can charge, which is great, whatever. And then our shipping partners, like the price we get to ship the game to, like a lot of places, is exorbitant. Just because of whatever. And it's just like, I understand when people are like, I really want to back this game, but I don't want to have to pay like the same amount basically as the game itself to get it shipped to me. I mean, I get that. I understand that completely and totally.
Or more. In some of these places.
But like when you go in and read the emails that we're getting on Kickstarter, like most of them are about shipping. It's like, oh, I know that you could ship it for cheaper than X or whatever. And it's just like, first I almost always respond, well, let us know like, if you have an idea of who can ship hundreds of games cheaper, then send us the name of the company and we can look into it. But two, it's like, did you honestly think that we were just like, hey, do you think we should find cheaper shipping for like this Asian country that has millions of people living in it that want to buy tons of our games? Nah, just charge them $100. Oh, okay. Just like I just, it's some of those things where I just find it kind of preposterous. Like we honestly didn't do due diligence to try to figure out those things at all.
This is Kickstarter. This is everything. Once someone is able to do something for some reason, or whatever, it worked out or whatever, everybody can do it. Why can't you do it? They did it. Why can't you do it? They did it. Yeah, why can't we disappear like the guy who did Odin's Ravens? I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, like the Jamie Stegmaier's like blog thing, like it's great and everything, and it's a value to people. But people, I can't tell you how many times just sat there regurgitating, oh, but Jamie Stegmaier said this, and Jamie, I've heard him say in other places that yes, it works. It doesn't work all the time. You have to work within the parameter to get it to work. And if your thing doesn't fit or you can't do it, then you can't do it. But people are like, oh, he said, no, but Jamie Stegmaier said you could do this. Jamie Stegmaier. And I'm like, I wanted to like corner Jamie at Gen Con a couple years ago. Go, dude, you need to tell people to stop. Because other people, like, like doing their due diligence, trying to find the best method to get things places, and people are like, "Oh, how could you charge that much?" Jamie Stegmaier says you can ship it for $14. Jamie and I'm like, didn't see anywhere where Jamie Stegmaier said you can ship anywhere in the world for $14.
I don't know. It's both pleasing to be part of a project that does well, but it's I want the moon, and you're just like, we'd love to give you the moon, however, the moon would cost this much extra to do that. Oh well, I'm not doing that.
Well, I mean, it's everything. It's like, everyone who's like, oh, I can't get that, you're charging too much money for the game itself. I'm like, well, then don't buy it. I'd like to go buy a Porsche, but you know what? I don't have the money for it.
You wouldn't want a Porsche.
Why? I could sit out in my rocking chair on it. And
Oh. Well, I am happy that it's obviously doing well, because that does well for our company. And also it does well for my friend Seth.
Oh, yeah. I'm super excited that people are looking forward to this game. It has, even with all the, actually, there hasn't been a whole lot of quote unquote hate. I mean, some people are disliking things like the color of the board, or they're arguing about wood versus plastic, but very little real criticism. I don't feel like that's real criticism. That's, a lot of that is sort of
well, my understanding with the graphic,
This is the feedback you're getting, Seth. Seth Jaffe tweets, I'm floored. It's 5 p.m. and Crusaders has surpassed Yokohama as TMG's best first day on Kickstarter ever. And some Yahoo replies, it better not suck. Oh, wait, that was me.
I know who replied that?
That was me.
Oh, it was you. I was like, I thought so. I thought I remembered that being some jackhole.
Hey! You called out Trajan. You got a lot to live up to for me. So,
I don't think he called out Trajan.
He called it out.
He said that.
He said, "You, sir, I shall meet you in the alley."
I think that Seth basically said he was inspired by Trajan, and he wanted to make a game using the mechanism. That's why I saw it.
You see it your way, I'll see it my way.
The reason behind the red is because it's like, just kind of like it's like the cover, kind of blood, and
they bloodied up Europe.
And then we just carried that over to the board, right? I mean, that's something I've heard a lot. People just like, why did you make the board red? And
I like the board.
I like it too. I think it pops.
Yeah, I think it gives it. I think it gives it nice type. Yeah, Forrest doesn't know where that is. Just so you know, for some place, Europe or. Some
like that futuristic, that fantasy world you created for it.
I think Forrest was pretty sure it was Westeros.
Oh, there you go.
I do have to complain about something to you, Lance.
Oh gosh!
I don't know why I decided to actually watch the stuff that Twist did while they were at Dice Tower Con.
Yeah.
I was half asleep, and then I found myself the next day going, Nickelback. Nickelback. I'm like, I'm going to kill him. Seriously, I'm going to kill him.
Yeah, we had fun.
Nickelback.
Those people are really nice.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know the two guys, but I know Nicole. They're all really nice.
No, they're good eggs. I don't know what it takes to run a Twitch, like a good Twitch channel, but I
don't know anything about Twitch.
I don't know anything either. So I was sitting.
No, I tried to watch or log into. Andy was doing something on Twitch, and he was there to answer questions or whatever. And I tried to log on while I was at work. I didn't have any audio, but I figured I could type in stuff and see what was up. And I actually turned it on my phone so I could hear it through my earphones, and I turned it on my computer so I could type easier. And it I don't know if it just needs more power than my stupid computer has, or if my internet connection was super slow, but it just was not working out. It would work for a second at a time, and then it would go to loading.
What was Andy doing on Twitch?
Well, he was editing rules. And he said he was going to try editing rules on Twitch, and he'd be there to answer questions and talk about whatever. I guess the Crusaders campaign or whatever else. I guess he was doing something about rules with the 1,000 Cats game. Is what it said on the screen. So many cats. I don't know if anyone was in there. I couldn't log in properly, so I don't know what was going on.
Yeah,
I thought it was a cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a whole lot of time to deal with it anyway. But
I've often thought of TMG having our own Twitch channel would be kind of neat, but we'd have to make so much. You have to have content almost every dang day on Twitch. It just seems like the really big Twitch guys and girls have just constant content.
Yeah, they have content going all day, sort of thing. It's run more like a TV station than it is a channel.
So I was sitting at Dice Tower Con, and I just mind wandering. And I thought of this brilliant D&D campaign idea. Well, actually, I shouldn't say brilliant because it was my idea, and that's me boasting. But I know I know it'll take a long time to make it, but that's fine because my campaign's almost over, and then I'm going to be playing, so I'm going to have time. But I had this idea of what if I took the time, I wrote up an entire background or whatever for the world, and then I wrote up an entire background for all of the different gods, if you will. And then I came up with histories and things like that for important NPCs and everything like that. And then I had the players make their characters and make them for that world, give them backgrounds in that world, give them, their life stories, things like that. And then one of the very first adventure they go on, they have to they're agents of the king or something like that. And they get on a boat, and the boat's supposed to take them to what is that? Oh, that's Robert.
Close your eyes.
Why?
Who's playing Werewords?
Yeah.
Or One Night?
No, and then like so then I would they would leave in the boat, but like there would be some calamitous thing that happened in the boat. It would be like the boat would wreck, or like a kraken would attack it or something, and all the players would like the players would each like have some sort of like really important item, like some family heirloom, like either like a really like a magical sword, or just something that was really really important to them. And then like their ship, like basically their ship gets attacked, or they're in a storm or whatever, and they all like wake up like without anything, like amidst like the wreckage of their ship that they're on, like on a beach somewhere, and they end up in a land that I've also created that has absolutely nothing to do with the background that I gave them to read over, everything like that. And so like create characters, create all these backstories of all these things, and then just like plop them down in a world or another country or whatever that they've never been on before, and then like just make that world as screwed up as I possibly could, And I actually I actually kind of started thinking a little bit of the old Thieves World Sanctuary stories, like how the Sanctuary City was just like a completely screwed up city, like with like all these like really weird temples and that worship these crazy gods, like a 12-year-old like emperor leader that has like his 6 like ridiculously powerful bodyguards that protect him, and just something that just totally spins the whole thing on their ear, and then they have to kind of figure out where the hell they are, have to figure out, like, and basically like, they'd all be kind of like good people, but the world the land they ended up in was like, pretty like either lawless or like downright just evil of itself, and kind of just like see what they do. So I've been playing with that idea for a while. Just like if you were like one of the holy people, if you were a cleric, you could try to, of some like good god, you could be trying to like promote a belief in your god, and like and then of course like the evil temples would want to put an end to you and things like that. I don't know. I thought it was a good idea. But as with 99% of my D&D ideas, I never really formulate them into anything. I get excited about them for a while. Anyway, I put everybody to sleep, so that's fine.
What? I'm sorry.
Bah. Shouldn't you be in bed, Robert? Don't you have to get up in the morning, go to work or something?
All right. Well, I work from home, so I crawl out of that bed and then sit down and then work.
What do you do for a living? I have no idea.
I am a database administrator for a large company that deals with auto dealerships.
Wow, are you boring?
Yeah, well, they pay me a lot of money to not leave my house, so not really gonna complain. And when it's slow and I don't have anything to do, I can do anything else and I still get paid.
I gotcha.
So yeah, it's boring. It's boring.
What happened to Anthony? Anthony went rogue.
Heck, it's actually because I had switched companies this year. So for Gen Con, I'm taking work with me, and during the weekdays that I'm up there, I'm going to be doing work in the hotel room, and then the convention at night.
Weird. Is Dice Tower having a booth?
Yes, but I mean, I'm gonna, and I'll be there with them part of it, but I'm actually just going to go by myself.
Gotcha.
Actually, Tom jumped me. He was like, why did you buy a badge when I could have gotten one? I'm like, I don't know. I just felt like doing it.
Why didn't you just get a press badge?
Because I'm a weirdo.
All right.
Most people don't know this. Like, so I actually had 3 badges for Dice Tower Con. I had one from Tom's list that said, the stupid VIP thing. I had a staff badge, and then just to annoy Molly, I bought a badge.
Why would you buy a badge? You basically just took a badge away from somebody.
Just to annoy her. No, because if it was needed, we would have refunded it out, but it wasn't.
But it was sold out. They did need it. I bet there are people on the waiting list. You stole it from somebody. Shame.
I can't make any comments.
Huh. Seth, where do you think we end up tomorrow? I want you to give me prices right, closest without going over.
Oh, geez. How much did we do today?
Well,
we did like 20 today.
You're at 129,734 right now.
Yeah, we were at. Well, we went over 100 at about like
3 in the morning, right?
Well, yeah, 3, 4 in the morning. Yeah, last night. So
so this time tomorrow night?
We've done about 25K right now in the last 24 hours.
I'm just gonna say 15K tomorrow. I don't know how quick it drops off.
Well,
I'll say 15K.
Kicktrack yesterday had us at 2.2 million. So anything less than that, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Kicktrack is wildly inaccurate.
Kicktrack is very good at determining the trends after you've been around for a couple of weeks.
And the very beginning is way off because there's a huge surge at the beginning.
Yep.
If you look at it like, I don't know, 60% of the way through the project, it might be a little more accurate. And then, of course, at the end, it's a big surge again, and it becomes more inaccurate again.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess 15K tomorrow.
That's fair.
We'll be lucky if we get to 150, but I think we won't.
I think that when we reveal...
wild guessing, though.
Yeah, I know, but I think when we reveal the stretch goals tomorrow, I think we're going to get a surge from that. I think that the one stretch goal we have, not to be all vaguey, but the one stretch goal we have listed for 175 is going to get people excited, to push forward.
I'm excited.
I'm excited by Lance's vague booking here.
Well, I can tell you after we go off air, I'm not going to release it until I have the graphics and everything to update it with. But I think people, it's just, I think we're moving towards making people happy, I guess is the best way to put it. So
this was my first game. This game was the first game I played at Dice Tower Con.
Oh yeah.
The night before when we were sitting there, I had the prototype with me. I made like three other people play it with me as the first game.
Huh.
Yeah, so I was demoing it before you even got there, Lance.
Well,
Slacker.
Oof. I'm glad I sent it. I'm glad I had Seth send it to you then. All right. Well, it's 1:00 in the morning. Seth, do you have anything you want to say about the game before we go?
It's really fun. I like it a lot. And if you're into light to medium Euro style, if you're into light to medium Euro style games that are smooth and yet fun and with multiple facets to victory, then check it out.
All right, remember, Seth, don't take off. I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
Anthony, you got any parting words?
I love Australia.
Robert, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it. And you can have parting words if you so desire as well.
Who's gonna die on Game of Thrones? I don't know. I got nothing.
All right,
I'm out.
Good night, everybody. I'll talk to you next week, I guess.
You shall.
Yes.